live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Like a friend, just like a daytime's wedding. Come on, police, arrest this girl, her headline smacking me, feeling like way I've crashed her body. This is what you got. This is what you got. This is what you got when you mess me up. Come on, police, I've given all I can, it's not enough. I've given all I can, I'm wasted on my bed. This is what you got. This is what you got. This is what you got when you mess with
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now on a Wednesday coming up. Reason number 1,607 on why it's impossible to be really good at gambling all the time. 1,607. I've been giving these to you my whole career.
So we're at 1,606 right now.
Yes.
You're about to add one?
And we're going to add one
Okay.
more today. It is impossible to be great at gambling all the time. We'll talk about that coming up in the show, unless you're Little T, who all I see is she tweets another parlay winner from mybookie.ag.
The old
every
parlay
day.
queen.
Every
Content
day.
queen's now the
Every
parlay
day.
queen.
She's little Floyd Mayweather.
Every day. She only posts the
Where are her
winners.
trash tickets?
She only posts the winners? Okay, well, maybe we'll get a testimonial from Little T at some point today. Good night in the NBA and the NHL last night. We'll get to that. Dusty Dvoracek is on the show coming up today at 10 o'clock. Yes, you're right, Smuff. Lesson number 1 was the day I lost my Toyota Tercel.
Yeah, it's only taking you 1,605 more.
I've given you 1,605 more since that.
Did James Sr. ever know that story?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
He's lost a car.
Were you on his payroll then or your payroll?
Oh, that's by far mine.
Okay.
I'd already
He's
moved
been
to
on his payroll since he
Lexington.
was 11.
Been to Lexington and back home by then.
Okay.
I wasn't on Maggie's payroll yet either. So, I had
that was a good time to lose it then.
I had a little freedom of movement, I like to call it back then.
Yeah.
Also, we get some rankings, gambling odds in the NFL on teams that were in the playoffs last year in the NFL that are not expected to be in this year, teams that were not in that are expected to be in. That's coming up later in the show as well.
Are you ready for your 8?
To make my pick?
Yeah.
No, I'm not ready
Okay.
for that. That's a
So-
summer
so
thing,
that's a
Brown.
summer
As I
thing.
was reminded yesterday, it's just spring now.
Who
Yeah,
told you that?
but it might be good luck. You've never won it.
That's true. Maybe you should move it to spring.
Because it's an impossible bet to win, LT.
Yeah, we do it
I can't
every year.
believe you continue to take a stake from me on this.
Yeah,
we need
so
to
greedy.
modify the rules. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, who's back from Nashville. Rockstar Lunsford is off again today, back tomorrow, hopefully. Tyler and Forrester are there. Little T's handling everything social media. Emily, Grace, Kelsey, and Reed are here as well. You can go follow us at Next Round Live on every platform out there. And, of course, like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. All right. We'll start with the transfer portal, which is officially closed. That doesn't mean all the names are out there that you're going to hear. Sometimes they will trickle out through today. But as expected, Tony Mitchell is in the portal officially from Alabama. That was the other one I kept hinting to, that there'll be a couple of DBs. People are already asking about depth in the secondary there. I'm not concerned about the depth in the secondary. I'm concerned about experience in the secondary. But you lose a couple of late guys in the portal.
I think when people say depth, they're really talking about experience. I think that's what they mean by that.
Because there are a lot of bodies down there.
Yeah, I mean, you can have bodies. I mean, Alabama will never have a shortage of bodies.
Right.
Like, I mean, Kalen DeBoer could have gone public and said, I'll tell you what we need is defensive backs, and the transfer portal will have been flooded with defensive backs to come to try to play for Alabama. You can have all the bodies you want. I think when people say depth, they really mean experienced depth.
I forget who it was. It flew by in the chat room there. I would just say that you had 3 blue chip DBs that came in the recruiting class, and none of them left. They're all still there, right? And you brought in a starter from Michigan and a starter from USC, and really you've only lost a couple in this whole thing, right? You lost Caleb, that was a uber
Downs,
star.
you did not
that's-
want to lose him.
That
Yeah.
is still to date the only loss that has mattered to me from
Yeah, the
Alabama.
Woodyard kid who never played a snap last year was, what, 4-star?
Four-star, but he was rated really high, going to be a good guy somewhere, and he's out the door. And Tony Mitchell had great expectations coming from Thompson, but has never really got it going. He's going to be great somewhere probably. Just doesn't look like it's going to be Alabama.
Right.
Experience depth, I'm worried about. Got a lot of young, but a lot of talented people in Tuscaloosa.
I mean, yeah, again, talent and bodies will not be an issue very much in Tuscaloosa. If so, the coach will be fired. I'm not saying DeBoer, I'm saying any coach. I just think people are worried about experience depth because you're going to a system schematically that's probably going to ask more of your defensive backs than the system you were in. Not necessarily what they do when they're on the field, though it may, but you're probably going to need more bodies to run out there on a consistent basis than you did under Nick Saban. So I think that's why people are concerned is they hear the 5 in that defense, right? They hear the number 5.
That's right.
And they start saying, well, if there's a 5 in the back of that defense, I'm going to have 5 really good defensive backs to start a game. And then I'm probably going to need 10 good ones to finish a game, right? So they start doing the math, and they're like, I don't count 10 that I really trust right here. So I think that's when people say depth, I think that's what they're saying.
Well, here's Will. He says if Damani Jackson goes down, it might end up being similar to LSU last year. Not to be dramatic.
That is dramatic.
Can you imagine if you had an Alabama defense giving up, 35-plus every game?
I don't want to do those shows.
No, me either.
Poor Kane Womack.
Yeah, I think, but you're going to have injuries, and that's the thing. I mean, you got injuries every year, so that's what people worry about is when you're asking for more defensive backs. One injury there, Damani Jackson or somebody like that, can really put you in a bind.
Yeah. So it's interesting as this portal. Now this was just the deadline to get in to the football portal. All the ones that are out there can still find places. So if I ask you the question, and I'll ask this of Auburn in just a second, for Alabama, one position you would still go tab somebody in the portal if there's somebody out there you like. Is it defensive line? Is it the edge? Is it a linebacker? Is it a DB?
DB, I still need to see a dominant wide receiver.
Yeah, you still want a wide receiver.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's that guy in the portal.
Yeah.
So that guy's probably not available.
Might have gotten him in recruiting. You don't know yet.
In Ryan
Williams, you might have. You don't know yet. But you're right, Lance. I mean, they don't have the guy that is the proven dominant guy, and I'm not sure he exists in the portal either. I tell you, man, this time of year when you can't take those SEC guys, that portal gets thin, doesn't it?
That's right. When you can't bring somebody in from the SEC.
Yeah.
For instance. I mean,
that's 15 schools that I am no-go, no-fly zone.
Did you ever check to see if say Caden Proctor had left Alabama,
right,
and had gone to another SEC school, does it also count that he can't go back to Alabama?
What do you mean by that?
Like
if he had gone to Ole Miss.
Gone Alabama, Ole Miss, Alabama.
I think if he's enrolled, he couldn't. Yeah, I think.
Well, that gets me to.
Was he enrolled?
That gets me like if you're looking for another good linebacker, there's one in the portal. He just happened to played his last game at Alabama. He just spent all spring at Texas. Guy by the name of Kendrick Blackshear. Remember how big of a get that was for Sark? Sark was, I think it was in February. This was one of the exits right after Nick Saban came. Kendrick Blackshear was, I would think Sark posted, we're coming home. I think he said, coming home, Duncanville, Texas, coming home. He's leaving home. He's not coming home anymore.
Yeah, lost the key.
Yeah.
I mean, they're almost mini vacations for some of these guys.
Some of these guys just spent spring at a different destination, right?
Yeah. I don't know the ruling on that. I'm going to assume it has to do with enrollment. So if Kendrick Blackshear was enrolled in taking classes in Austin, my assumption would be, I'll try to confirm this, but my assumption would be he's in the no-fly zone.
Yeah.
Because, again, Texas and Oklahoma, while they are not official conference members, have agreed to operate by this rule that the SEC coaches put in place.
By the way, just 2 months until they're officially members.
I know that it's coming quick.
May 1st.
Yeah, just wrapping up those spring sports in the Big 12.
Yep, it'll be they'll be here before you know it. Offensive line may be somebody that you want for Alabama. You never have too much depth there. James Brockermeyer made his commitment official to TCU, surprising nobody. He had the do not disturb tag hanging on his door when he left Alabama.
We know what that means.
Yeah, so he's out the door there.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously more obvious in the portal than it is in a hotel room.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't. If I'm only there for like 3 days, I don't get any services.
Yeah, so you're one of those that you'll put it on there when you're actually out. You're not even in the room.
Yeah. No, I leave it on there the moment I walk in the door.
You don't like them to change your sheets and get fresh towels?
Not if I'm there for 3 days.
I want it every day.
I do too, Lance.
I think that's part of the perk of being in a hotel.
Fresh towel, fresh sheets.
The only time I put it on the door is if I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I buy into I'm saving Earth. I'm not using too much water for the laundry on the towels.
Human. Yeah, such a good human.
How often do you use the same towel at home?
Never.
I will use it twice. I'll use it once and then again.
See, I'm a one-use guy, and I may be ending the planet. I'm sorry, but the minute I'm done with my shower, towel goes in the hamper. Jennifer washes them.
Wow. Okay, I use the towel more than once, but not at the hotel. But really, just because
when you're doing the laundry,
around the show here, I'm gonna mix it up. We'll start with Tyler on the back row. I don't know if Tyler can hear me. Tyler can't hear me. We'll start with Forrester on the back row. Forrester, and then you'll translate the question to Tyler too. How often do you use a towel before you change towels at the Forrester house? You personally, nobody else in your house because you got a bunch of girls.
Me personally,
Yes.
I go 2 uses.
2 uses.
I'm
Me
the only
too.
one that does that. Everybody else is single use, and then it goes into the laundry, and we have a ton of towels.
Okay. Yeah. So
he's
you're-
got a house full of girls.
Well, and
like
you
I
got to do the towels separately. And, the problem
right.
for me, like, it's not a problem, but, during the summer, with how many towels we use at the pool, those are a one-time use.
Yeah. When you go to the pool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because you're outside.
But I'm
you
just
got
saying
pollen.
that towel laundry, it really adds up. So
yeah. That's fun laundry. That's easy laundry. As a guy who does laundry for himself at the house, towels are easy.
Bama Banana
easy
says
to fold.
using a towel once is criminal. 7 towels per week. Oh, it's even worse than that. I shower twice a day most days.
Yeah, Brown, you are.
I'm probably.
I don't know if I've got like of my premium towel that's in rotation now. I don't know if I've got 14 towels.
We do. I think I'm probably 12 to 14 a week, easy.
Oh, and your wife does all the laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, back row, single, new to adulthood.
It kind of is.
I mean, I'm
That's
not
a good
lying.
thing.
I'm not lying. Tyler, I mean, he's on his own. You're living on your own. Tyler, be honest now, because I remember being 23. There's sometimes that towel would stand up on its own. How often do you change towels?
So like Brown, I shower twice a day too. So I'll go probably 3 showers per towel.
Gosh, I don't see how
Okay,
you'll do
better
that.
question.
That would be odd for me. I mean, if you're showering twice a day, then you wake up the next morning, you do that third, and then you're gonna make a change midway through that next day.
I might.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends
Hey, you
on
put
if
him on the
I'm
spot.
awake
Yeah.
enough to grab a clean towel or not.
Better question to you, Tyler. How often do you change your sheets?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if I want to answer that.
I got to do that twice a week.
Yeah. I had one roommate who changed it by semester.
Is that how he got the nickname Dirty?
Yeah, by semester.
Oh,
I should be crusty.
I got my grades. Time to change sheets.
Rockstar, towel.
I don't have a lot of hair. I do 1 every 3 showers.
1 every 3 showers.
So here's another thing I do. When I know my wife has changed the sheets, whether I really need one or not, now this would depend on the last shower I've had, I'll shower before bed because to me, there's almost no better feeling than being perfectly clean and getting in a clean bed. That is a great feeling right there.
There are some
Good
that
clean
go
sheets.
higher than that, but that is a good
That's
feeling.
why I use the word almost, Jim.
That is a good feeling.
Because I knew the people in this room would start throwing at me things that might be better. So I said
I
almost.
Perfectly cooked steak.
I'm
Yes, I
probably
know.
only 2 towels a week, and I take 2 showers a day. So
That's amazing.
like
to me.
every 7.
I like a good, clean, fluffy towel when I get out of the shower.
I mean, I feel like
I
I feel like
found that
I'm clean after
Yeah.
I'm clean, so I'm just drying off water that's off a clean body. Then I throw the towel over the shower to let it dry
Now,
out.
I don't want to, and they're family members, right? They're my blood, but I don't want to use anybody else's towel.
That's right. So you keep yours
I
separate?
want my towel.
Yeah.
My shower, my towel.
So you wouldn't use Maggie's towel?
I would LT, but do I prefer to? No.
Yeah. See, I don't even.
And then the kids.
I don't even
please.
think about that.
Then
yeah,
the
I
kids,
wouldn't. I wouldn't
please.
want to use kids'
Now,
towel.
when I walk in off the golf course and I'm kind of hot and sticky, but it's not time for a shower yet, like if I got something else to do, I'll pull a towel out of the hamper, whether I know it's mine or not, and I'll wipe my legs and arms down and throw it back in the hamper.
The dirty one.
The dirty one, yeah, because I'm dirty. I'm not showering yet, but
So that's not another towel you're
No,
using.
no,
there.
that's a dirty
Okay.
towel. But that was when you were talking about using somebody else's towel. That could be mine or Jennifer's. I do not know.
Okay.
So that's the one time you act like a peasant.
Yes, I guess so. It's when I use someone else's
How
towel.
often do you guys switch out your toothbrush? Because I've gotten really gotten over the top about this. I'm about once a month.
Once a month? I think once a month, yeah. But here's I buy 2 packs, 2 in a pack, and
See, I buy like the 8-pack now.
I buy the 2-pack, and they both sit there in my little container, and I don't use just one. They're both out.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost like a Major League Baseball pitching staff. Like I'll rotate. Blue one, orange one, blue one, orange one. Dang it.
I have never heard
Taylor's
of that.
rubbing off on me.
Blue and
My
orange, yeah.
and my toothbrushes are blue and
Have you ever
orange.
heard of anybody rotating a toothbrush?
No, I have not.
I don't do it
I use it till
intentionally.
it dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Here's another thing now. I brush my teeth minimum 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I go through a toothbrush very, very quickly. So I have to have a supply. And there's I just know when it's done. I can't give you like a specific time
Typically,
frame.
so we're all going to the coast. Is
Yeah.
it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when I pack a toiletry bag, I'll put the toothbrush I'm currently using in that toiletry bag.
And don't bring it back.
And then, yeah.
Ooh, so that's interesting because I've got one that stays in the toiletry bag. So that's another thing I do. So, boy, I am OCD. I've just realized this, Rockstar. I'm far more OCD than I had ever thought I was.
You're not OCD. You're
crazy,
privileged, pampered. There are a lot of P words I can throw at you right now.
So I've got.
Well, I would
want for
suggest
earmuffs.
switching that toothbrush out that stays in the toiletry.
Well, my shaving kit has everything I use on a daily basis just in there for traveling. Like I
try not to shave on the road. That's why I'm growing out right now.
Yeah.
I'll shave tomorrow.
So everything I do on the daily basis, I've got an extra one of those that just stays in my travel bag.
But will you shave when you're on the road?
Yeah, I shave every day.
You shave on the road?
I try not to.
It's
Sometimes
such
I
a pain
have
in the
to.
ass.
In fact, we're on the road Friday, so I don't really find it any more difficult than shaving at home.
Well, because you might not see. I shave in the shower, and so I've got a mirror in there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I use an electric razor, so I just tell it.
I use a straight blade while laying on a what's it called? A chase lounge.
Yeah.
And Maggie does it.
She cut that jugular.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be like a mob movie.
And even more difficult, we're going to be on the road Friday, so I got to do my my Manscaped beard hedger too.
Crazy.
Can't argue with the schedule.
Crazy.
And now I got to travel with the. Do you guys use the water pick? I use the water pick.
I don't.
I've heard it's great.
Oh, it's phenomenal, and that's a tough thing to travel with too. It's bulky. Just got to find space for it.
So wait till you get a CPAP.
No, not doing that.
Show being brought to you
I
today.
sleep like a baby.
Show being brought to you today by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City, who will get up there. Forget changing your towels. He'll change your roof if it needs it. He'll hop up there and give you a no-cost roof inspection. First thing he does, he gets up there and he looks at the lay of the roof, see if you got any loose shingles, water entry points, and he'll take care of that for you. Or he'll at least diagnose it for you. Free, no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531. 542-3531. Sometimes he comes down like he has for many of our viewers and say, you don't need a new roof yet. You still got 3 years on this thing. He told one of our guys, three years. Call me back in 3 years and I'll come take care of it for you. Greg from Pell City is the best. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. You should too. Locally owned, local crews. You can't beat them. Look how happy that girl is in the picture on your screen right now. You can be that happy too. 205-542-3531 or look him up on Facebook. Greg from Pell City. Also the golf card before we talk about Auburn football for a second. Brownie, tell us about the golf card that has an opportunity for you to play great courses like the Meadows down 280.
That's right, along with the newly renovated historic Woodward Golf Club. Also Limestone Springs, Cross Creek. It is your chance to play those 4 area golf courses for just $99. It is the Next Round Golf Cart presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. That, by the way, is a $247 value for just $99. The Next Round Deluxe Golf Cart is just $119. That gets you all 4 courses with cart, plus an exclusive Next Round Golf t-shirt, koozie, golf tees, and a sticker. There are no restrictions. The card is good through October 2024. Supplies are limited. Get your golf card now. Nextround.store. That is nextround.store.
If you're not paying attention to some of our great shows at Roll Tide Pods or War Dam Pods, this is your friendly reminder that great content running through the off season at both those locations. You can get links off of our Next Round live YouTube page or Disrupt the Media to get updated content on Alabama and Auburn all summer long, 116 days till week 0. You can roll with Roll Tide Pods and War Dam Pods. I almost said Roll Dam Pods.
Interesting.
Yeah, Roll Tide Pods, War Dam Pods. You can get that at all of our platforms. They're easy button links you can find on our YouTube page. That includes The Village Vice with Zach Blackerby and Brad Law. Yesterday they were talking about portal season and a position that Auburn could still upgrade with a starter out of the portal. Here's what the guys said yesterday.
Do you feel like you're missing a capable starter at any position on the field? I know what people are screaming right now. We're going to talk about that at a later We have all summer to.
What are people screaming? Quarterback?
Yeah, I can tell. But I've read the comments.
There's not a quarterback in the portal better than Peyton. There's not.
There you go.
I mean, I would agree 100% with that.
I agree.
The quarterbacks didn't hit the secondary portal. That just did not happen this year.
Yeah, I don't even know if Jaden Rashada, who signed with Georgia, is better than Peyton Thorne. I don't know.
He wouldn't start day one, I don't think.
No, I don't think
he
so.
might, as the year goes on, might be better than Peyton Thorne. I don't know. I would doubt that, but I don't know.
Don't even know a quarterback really in the portal right now. Do you guys offhand?
The UCLA quarterback Colin Schlee went to Virginia Tech yesterday, and Virginia Tech people were happy.
Well, Colin Schlee would not. I
remember Colin Schlee was a MAC quarterback before he went to UCLA. Got a little bit of playing time, not much.
But I don't see him better than Peyton Thorne. You
know what's amazing is none of these Alabama quarterbacks have transferred out.
That's a great point.
Yep.
I was thinking about that this morning in the shower before I reused my towel. I was thinking to myself. None of these guys, unless the name leaks out later on as the portal window closed. You still have Ty Simpson. You still have Lonergan there. And you still got Austin Mack to go with Jalen Milroe.
You know, we talked about it at one point, and I set the number at 1.5. Like, there was a better chance of 2 guys transferring out than nobody transferring out. I would have put any amount of money on somebody transferring from that room.
Well, I'll say, and I think this is the genius behind this agreement the SEC coaches made. If you're in that room, you're not transferring to an SEC school. So if you transfer out, boy, you have really limited your possibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can transfer to an SEC school, but you have to sit out.
That is right. I mean, so you're sacrificing a year. Why not just stay at Alabama, play that year? You can't play no matter where you go. Stay at Alabama and then transfer out in the portal where you can go anywhere.
Yeah,
right?
but you know, I mean, 4 of the 6 quarterbacks taken in the 12 first picks were from conferences other than the SEC.
They were, but you be one of those quarterbacks, Lance, and see everything available to you at Alabama and take the SEC schools off the board. How many of those schools would you like, there's my place, there's where I need to be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Oklahoma State's a good program, right? I mean, I may not start at Oklahoma State. I'm just using them as an example.
Yeah, but if you go to Oklahoma State and you win the Big 12 and you put up gaudy numbers,
you're going to get drafted. Yeah, and that's a big if, but you're absolutely right. I am going to get drafted.
I'm just saying I would rather play at Oklahoma State start than sit behind somebody in Tuscaloosa.
I had 2, and if there were a guarantee, I would think a lot of those guys would think heavily about it. But even then, a promised starting job, that's a small number I'm going to leave a established SEC school for right now.
I wanted to talk about Auburn here, but I'll make one Alabama comment to your to your point there. I think this showed me, and this is what I was thinking about in the shower, is that Ty Simpson, Lonergan both looked at Mack and said, oh, when Milroe's gone, I think I got a shot.
You mean Austin Mack, not Mac Jones?
Yeah,
just
when
to be
Austin
clear.
Mack is gone,
Austin Mack, yeah.
Yeah.
That when Jalen
so this
Milroe
all
goes,
ran through your head when you were Lester Burnham in the shower.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And by the way, Forrester can talk smack all he wants back there. But if if you wanted to, it'd be really funnier than you to talk in the chat room that Jim thinks about Alabama quarterbacks in the shower for you to put together a little quick GIF with my head floating over somebody in the shower. That would be funny.
Get him, Jim.
What, Forrester?
I said that can be done.
Okay,
so you've given him the
we'll
idea.
Work on that. Yeah. Get AI on that one. But to me, that says, because if you're looking at Austin Mack who's come in, you'd be like, okay, if he's going to win this job, then I'm going to be back up forever. Then I'm starting to think.
Yeah,
but if I'm sitting around looking around, I'm like,
it's a weird situation because Austin Mack has probably been told by Kalen DeBoer, man, I love you. You understand the system. We were comfortable playing you if Penix would have gone out last year. And then Kalen DeBoer comes in and he sees a guy like Ty Simpson. And
who had a hell of a spring.
Yeah. So, that's one room you don't worry about the depth. I think you could win with any of those quarterbacks.
All 4 of them?
I think you could. Now, I'm not talking about national championship.
Yeah. Hashtag Lonergan. This time last year.
Look, and I say that, never even really seen those guys play. I just trust what everybody's saying behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I do know that in hindsight, so 2 things in hindsight, both about Auburn, really. This agreement by the SEC to limit where people go in the portal now looks genius when you're trying to protect guys. Where it doesn't look genius is if you're in need of a position because, boy, you have limited your options.
Yeah.
So this thing's going to cut both ways. And the point on Auburn was everybody said, you stick with what you got, and then that secondary portal, if you really don't like what you have in spring, you hit that secondary portal. Well, guess what didn't happen in the secondary portal? No quarterbacks jumped in. And that's why, and I'm not just saying that about Auburn. I would say that about any school that was like, we could dabble in the portal in the winter, or we could go through spring, see what we got, and then jump on it in the spring portal. Nobody jumped in. So if you were depending on this for quarterback, you are in a world of trouble now.
What surprises me as much as no Alabama quarterback leaving is no Ohio State quarterback left.
Yep.
I mean, you have the big recruit from Alabama. You had your big recruit. Both of them were 5- and 4-star blue chip quarterbacks in this recruiting class, right? Sayin and Nolan. And then you had the kid you brought in from Will Howard.
And you got Devin Brown.
Nobody left that room either.
Yeah, not only did nobody leave that room, Lance, but it's not even a situation where there's obviously a starter that is going to be going to the NFL next year, so all I got to do is wait a year. That is far from the case with Ohio State.
Yeah, I think Sayin believes he is the future, and I think the question right now for Ryan Day is, who are you going to start right now? Is it going to be Howard or Brown? I would assume, why do you bring Howard in if he's not going to be the guy? But much like Ty Simpson, Devin Brown had, according to most, an incredible spring.
All right. So real quickly, to answer the question I set up with the Auburn soundbite here from Village Vice, you can follow, like, and subscribe to that. Brad and Zach there, part of War Damn Pods. Brownie, what position would you like Auburn still to grab out of the portal? Do they need anything more? I mean, they've done a great job on the defensive front seven.
They have. I mean, I guess you noticed, in the NFL draft, some pretty good. You love some Jalen Simpson.
I do. Oh, especially when he's covering Brock Bowers for 3.5 quarters.
I know. Unfortunately, Jalen went to the Colts, so we're not going to see that matchup twice a year.
No.
With him versus Bowers, I was so looking forward to that in my NFL season.
Yeah, that'll be Peyton Manning and Ray Lewis. And they're audibling back and forth.
If he had gone to the Chargers, the Chiefs, or the Broncos, it'd been fantastic.
Twice a year. I could just see CBS Brock Bowers versus Jalen Simpson.
And today, ISOCAM on the Bowers-Simpson matchup.
I think Auburn has really solidified playmakers. I think back into the defense is probably where
that's
you
what I was
going to
say. Nehemiah Pritchett and Jalen Simpson are two big losses there to the NFL draft.
Go see how Village Vice answers that question right there. All right, when we come back, lesson number 1607, why I am a horrible gambler and why you should learn from that. Plus, an amazing story, a tale of a hero who comes and saves the day. That's coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama. Your chance to stay on top of your health as a man who ages a little bit, from Tyler's age of a young 23 all the way to my age, 117. You can stay on top of your health with Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, 930-0920. As I use my NPR voice, Rockstar, right here, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Prostate health to kidney stones. Your health is important to them. 16 locations across Alabama. UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or HemphillServices.com. That's 205-229-2090, HemphillServices.com.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville. Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mama Mother's Day Sunday, LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Okay. Before LT tells us about Dr. B and how he's really making LT and Brown's life so much better, one thing that continues to haunt me.
Condescending dick.
What do you mean? I mean, he is. I mean, nobody has benefited more from our new venture than you two with the way you look.
Yes, I'm telling you what, since this venture started, Lance, you and I.
And you went and saw Dr. B less than a week ago?
I know, I'm just telling you.
Already.
Rockstar and I used to have to put up with you guys how crappy y'all looked in the radio days. Y'all look so much better now people can see you.
Huge improvement.
I just want to bring up that lesson 1607 for you here. There are things that I see so clearly some nights. And you to me, LT, when you tell me that a team is about to play a playoff game.
What kind of game?
A playoff game. They're about to play a playoff game, Rockstar, and they don't have their leading scorer from the regular season, and wait for it, they don't have their second leading scorer from the regular season.
So their top two best offensive players are not playing. What?
You don't have your top two scorers in basketball not playing a playoff game?
Uh-huh.
That's easy money.
That's right.
To take the other team there. Funny thing happened on the way to the end of that game last
the old
night.
bank.
Milwaukee, the Bucks, without their top two leading scorers, beat the Pacers last night. Not by one, not by 5. They beat them 115-92. The Pacers should be disbanded for lack of effort. How do you lose that game?
Is there a chance the Bucks are catching 23 in that one?
Oh, my gosh, Brownie.
Yeah, I stayed completely away from that game, but it is amazing that you can be down. Giannis is obviously the story in this series. Him playing completely different team. But the Pacers coming into this series, most people believe the Pacers were going to win the series, and how they lost that game last night is amazing.
You don't have
they went off as a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah, your top two leading scorers. But then there's the always prevalent Jimmy landmine. My adopted NBA team is who?
That's the New York Knicks. You love the Knicks.
New York Knicks.
Right.
I'd finished a round of golf yesterday. I settled at our friends' walk-ons down 280. I just said hi to Ken.
Is this 3 straight days of golf or 4?
This is 3 of the last 4 days. Yeah. So
Ken, I want to come back to that in a moment. You go ahead and finish this story, though.
So I'm sitting there at walk-ons with my golfing buddies, and the Knicks are up on the screen. Say hi to Ken, but Ken West walking by, asked me how my golf game was. Said it's crappy, not playing well right now. Got the yips. He says, that's why I quit playing. I don't play much anymore. I said, I'm thinking about doing the same thing. He goes, really? How much have you played lately? 3 of the last 4 days. He laughed. He said, yeah, you're going to quit. You're addicted.
I'm going to interrupt you now. Sunday afternoon, I'm on my way to 3340 to do the zone. I call Dunaway.
Who's coming back from the golf course.
Who's coming back from the golf course, by the way. Has to take my call in a car with 3 other guys coming back from Limestone Springs. And I'm like, hey, is Maggie going to the beach with you this weekend when we go down to do the show? He said, no. And I said, well, Friday, I am going to play golf after the show if you would like to join me. I've told him where I've got a tee time and why that's important. And he's like, Brown, I'm playing so bad right now, I'm taking a week off from golf, so no. And I said, well, I'll tell you what.
Are you playing today?
Listen,
I'm not playing today.
Listen, Lance, I said, I'll tell you what. It's not going to be any different if they make me a tee time for 1 or 2. I'll play by myself if I have to, but I'll just go ahead and tell them make it for 2 and let you've got a whole week to decide. Nah, I've already made my decision, Brown. I am done for the week. I am taking a week to decompress from golf.
Yeah, but
he has played. There are 2 days of this week. He's played both of them.
But it's a really good course, and I thought to myself, if I get out and I play well, maybe I can work some things out.
Do you think he swung the club more than Scheffler this week?
yes. Scotty would be like, God, my shoulder's hurting.
I'm not playing well. I'm going to spend time on the beach. I'm going to relax, sit there and date.
Are you bringing your clubs?
They may stay in the car.
Are you bringing yours?
Well, I'm 100% playing. There is like zero debate on me. I am 1,000.
So instead of the beach Friday, you will be playing golf.
Oh, yeah. Why would I not?
I think I want the beach day.
Because you can play golf here.
Not those courses, I can't.
Yeah, I did, by the way. I was in 14 traps yesterday, so I had a beach day yesterday.
Beach, yeah.
Really good at sand shots. That's my only shot that I'm good at right now.
You actually are good out of the bunker. It surprised me. You're like, I'm in them all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
14 great shots yesterday out of the bunker. So back to my story. The other thing, so the Knicks, they're in a situation last night with 28 seconds left that there's no way they can lose this basketball game. They're about to eliminate the Sixers. And Tyrese Maxey gets a call that shouldn't have been called, that he's at the three-point line, and I think they're down.
They were down 6.
And he jumps into a guy and throws in a line drive that goes in. They give him the 3 and call the foul, a 4-point play.
Traditional 4.
The traditional 4.
That's the 4 the hard way?
Which was a crappy shot. It shouldn't have been a foul. He initiated contact. And then down the court again, he drains a 3. 7 points in 17 seconds. A 7-1 personal run for Maxey forces overtime, and the Sixers come back and beat my Knicks in what was an elimination
52
game.
minutes for Maxey, 46 points. And think about this. Before this postseason, only 3 games in the past 25 years have seen a team come back from down 5 in the last 30 seconds and win the game. 2 of those in the last 10 days in the same series.
Yeah.
Philadelphia and the Knicks.
Insane. Until last night, 7 and 17 seconds, 0 and 141 since 1996 in that situation. 0 and 141.
It seems like we see a lot of that recently.
And I don't know how you feel. I sort of feel like now the Sixers are going to win the next game, and the next game they eliminate the Knicks.
It all depends on Embiid.
It's insane. It's why lesson number 1,607. Why it is impossible to be great at gambling.
You were going to get into the money laundering from the bookmaker with Shohei.
We can do that.
There's
right
another reason.
After you tell us about our friend Dr. B.
Again, my hair has more than doubled in thickness since I first went to see Dr. Beckenstein. I was asking around when my hair started to thin out. Everyone said the guy you need to go see is Dr. B. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training in genetic testing, to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. Beckenstein today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. T3hair.net for more information. Again, I'm doing that non-invasive treatment 3 times, 30 minutes each time on the couch. Brown's doing the exact same thing right now. We will get an update on his growth in the next few months. But check him out today. If you're starting to thin out, you know somebody that's thinning out, call for the consultation, 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
All right. So appreciate Dr. B doing wonders to make this staff look as good as they possibly can look. What LT was just talking about, something that obviously is going to be a sub-note on Shohei Ohtani's career, because This is now continued. It always looks like it's put to bed, and then here comes a little nuance to the story. Here's another little nuance to the story. Apparently, the bookie was laundering his money through Las Vegas casinos.
Yeah, so the $500,000 payments that were going from the translator, the Ippy Mazzara guy from Shohei Ohtani's account, they were actually sending it to, so the Matthew Boyer is the bookmaker, and he would get it sent to an associate of his who would forward the money to his own marker accounts at Resorts World, which we stayed at the last time we were in Vegas.
Been there.
And
friends of the show, actually.
Then Boyer would meet up with his associate. They would withdraw the chips. They would play with the chips from the marker account. If they won, they would cash them out. If they lost, they lost. And he lost a lot of money. So the main bookmaker, Matthew Boyer, lost $8 million at Resorts World in a 1-year span.
Yeah. How often do you think money is laundered this way?
A lot.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
I didn't know to the depths it was laundered.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize, like, reading this story, how many casinos have been fined, how many people have been banned from casinos. Like, we've seen it in movies where you take money, you buy a bunch of chips, and then you flip it around and you cash the chips out.
And my point was going to be, I think money is laundered so much this way that the United States government is on high alert for this. Would you not imagine?
Yes.
So I don't think you're going to sneak one past the goalkeeper in this situation. And this is the problem for this whole situation, whoever is involved. And Shohei has been distanced from it now. But for whoever's involved is now you got a federal investigation. And there's going to be a trail here, and they're really good at investigating these things because they have to do it a lot.
Well, here's the problem. Not only Matthew Boyer getting popped, the main bookmaker, his associates are, and I know you guys have heard of this goes on all the time, where a bookmaker will call you up, hey, if you bring somebody in, I'll give you 10, 20% of their losses.
Right.
Well, now they're starting to round up all of those associates.
So what do you mean by that?
So now,
the onion.
The losses?
Yeah. So no, I'm just talking about now those guys have got, they're facing legal, tax repercussions. I mean, there's a lot of things where you might just have an insurance agent that knows Matthew Boyer, and he's like, hey, man, if you've got 3 or 4 guys that are $100,000, $1,000 players, I'll give you 20% of their losses. He hooks them up with Boyer. Now he is on the hook.
I would. I guess my concern would be if, for whatever reason, the United States government wanted some of these bookmakers to flip on somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, tax evasion would be the issue there. Like if Lance, to Lance's point, if you drug a guy in and one of his clients is a big-name athlete, and that big-name athlete's been gambling a lot, and, I want to know his taxes on that, now he gets drug into it. I'm just saying, once it got into a casino, which is a common way to launder money, I think, once it got in there, this was a whole new ball game. Because, as you said, now all of a sudden we're going to start peeling that onion, and who knows what you'll find.
And so Wayne Nix is another one of these Southern California bookmakers they've been talking about, and so they did a deep dive into his book, and clients, Scottie Pippen, Yasiel Puig, who used to play for the Dodgers and the Reds, Maverick Carter, the agent of LeBron James. So you just wonder how many people, like, this is going to be a massive story.
Yeah,
it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger.
This seems to be the bookie to the stars. This is the equivalent of who is the Madam
Heidi Fleiss.
Heidi Fleiss.
Did I ever tell you the story? I met Heidi Fleiss.
No, you did not.
Were you standing under a clock, or she
clock?
No. So this was random, but the Shops of Santa Monica. Have you guys ever been to the Shops of Santa Monica?
Yes, actually I have, Lance. Yeah.
So one of the shops, she had a lingerie shop.
Okay.
And so I was just walking by, and it was kind of, I guess, public knowledge that she had this shop, and I decided to wander in because I heard that she worked there, and she was sitting on the counter reading a book.
Interesting. Hey, Heidi.
Sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
That's sort of sexy.
Yeah.
Legs crossed?
She's
feet.
I think she's got quite the history.
Yeah,
how did that book come out? I don't remember that.
The Black Book.
The Black Book.
The diary?
Yeah. What was the?
It was an investigation that ended up getting. They got their hands on the book.
Yeah, and that's similar to what could happen here
with a raid.
Yeah,
with a raid. All right, the show being brought to you by A+. Our A+ moment of the night last night happened. The delay between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. We're going to roll through this. It's a pictorial that Forrester has put together. It's a read-along book. It starts with this.
All right.
The Diamondbacks, sending this out, The scheduled game between the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers have been temporarily delayed due to the presence of a beehive in the netting directly behind home plate at Chase Field. We anticipate that the game will resume promptly following the successful removal of the beehive by a professional beekeeper. Updates will be provided right here. Stay with us. Next one. There seems to be a real buzz about this on the internet, and they really did. And then the story gets fun after the real buzz starts. Next slide, please. Beep. This is
the beekeeper?
Yep.
How about that?
Cut 4 writes, screw it, beekeeper hype is real. This guy
How about this fella?
He's rigged up and ready to go. Matt Hilton is his name. I don't know if Matt was at the game or not.
Yeah.
Pulls out the shop vac, starts safely sucking those things in. Beekeeper hype is real. Look at this. He's getting the crowd into it and everything.
How many West Coast interviews will he do this morning?
All of them. But wait, it gets better, LT. Next up here, this is the Diamond. I can be your hero, baby, from the Diamondbacks. That's the scene out there. The place is packed. Of course,
really
it's the
is.
Dodgers, and they're just waiting on this to work out.
Yeah.
He
This
puts
guy
them
knows
to
what he's
sleep.
doing, obviously.
Going to tell our kids this is Jason Statham. Diamondbacks having fun. What's next there, Forrester? And then after it's done on the big screen, thank you, B guy.
Yeah.
But it's not done.
Oh, really?
He gets one more honor. So after he does all that, he gets to throw out the first pitch.
We didn't have anybody else.
Beehive guy gets to throw out the first pitch after saving the day last night. Matt Hilton, way to go, man.
What a day for that guy.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks win.
Blue Sky Pest Control, if you're ever in the Phoenix metro area, we highly recommend them.
I was telling you guys about the Beckham documentary. He's a beekeeper now. That's how it starts out. He bottles his own honey. It's an interesting hobby.
Look at that. Look, he hypes it up, pulls off the netting. That guy was a blast. A+ Realty, Brown.
A+ home remodeling. They're going to help you when it comes time to talk to a realtor because where you're going to make your money back. Master bath, kitchen, master bedroom, closets. All right. And it's also what you're going to enjoy the most when you are living in that house before you ever put it on the market. Just so happens that's what Brad specializes in. If everything is dated and you're just tired of all that old outdated stuff, call Brad now. Here is his number, 205-422-1758. He's worked in my house. He's worked in Lance's house. We trusted him. He did amazing work for us. You could see it right there that Scott is showing you. But here is his cell number. Just give Brad a call and tell him you're ready to work on that master bath, on that kitchen, that master bedroom closet. 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter @ScottForresterTV.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, Trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Back with you on the Next Round as we continue on. Dusty Dvoracek joins us at the top of the hour. He does God's work every morning by sitting there talking with Danny Cannell for an entire show every morning, entertaining us, getting us ready for a college football week or a college basketball week. Dvoracek at the top of the hour. Danny Cannell lost a bet on Bo Nix going in the top 15 of the NFL draft, so he's having to grow a beard.
Can Danny do that?
So that means Danny wanted to grow a beard.
Yes.
Danny's struggling growing the beard. Dusty is, being a good teammate, is growing a beard with him.
So Dusty wants to grow a beard too.
Dusty's beard apparently way ahead of Danny's beard already.
We'll see that when Dusty joins us. So Danny bet that he would go?
That he would not go in the top 15 of the first round.
That was the safe bet.
That was the safe bet.
Yeah.
You tried to grow a beard at one time, didn't you?
I grew a beard at one time. Now, I look like the guy on the fish stick box.
Gordon's fish sticks.
Yeah. But I grew one during the pandemic.
I remember that.
See, I kind of remember you trying to grow one.
I'll send a picture to Forrester. We'll have it. Maybe we'll have it when Dvoracek comes on. I did it just as a pandemic thing.
Yeah. I did it for a Halloween costume, and my wife liked it, so I kept it.
Yeah. A gutter cap is something that improves your home. LT is going to tell you about that. By the way, power ratings right now in Major League Baseball, according to The Athletic, best team in baseball, the Braves. Second best team, Dodgers. Third best team, Phillies. Man, the National League's crowded. Fourth best team, Yankees. Fifth best team, Baltimore. That according to The Athletic power rating says we go to May. Get into the season now.
I don't have a problem with that. Braves lost back-to-back now to the Mariners. Dodgers coming off a loss to the Diamondbacks.
Still the best two rosters in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers, what they did in Toronto up until the final game on Sunday.
New podcast up here, the Pennant Grace, starts with Emily Grace and company coming pretty soon to our platform this week. Tell us, LT, about Gutter Cap.
45% off the retail price right now from our good friend Chris Stewart. Call him today. Get that absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212. It's a dirty, dangerous job. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Do what I did years and years ago. Call Chris Stewart. Get him out there. 45% off. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
BS or not? You ready? Arkansas's does get Janelle Davis, the kid from FAU. I'll start over. Arkansas did get Janelle Davis, the kid from FAU.
Okay.
According to reports, he is getting a $1 million NIL. $1 million NIL. BS or not?
I would tend to say not BS based on these things. Number one, we know there's money at Arkansas. Tyson money, Walmart money is a lot of money, and that's just the tip of the iceberg up there. Because of Tyson and Walmart, there's a lot of industry and a lot of wealthy people up in that part of the country that are Hog fans. And number two, John Calipari has probably excited a lot of that money, and right now they're probably saying yes to everything. When you get Cal, you probably initially say yes to everything. I mean, Cal right now could say, I actually like the color blue. I'd like to paint the outside of the arena blue. Okay, Cal, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll get right on that. So I think he's getting said yes to for everything. So I would believe this.
Janelle Davis, good. I mean, really good. He's averaged 20-plus the last couple of years. They went to a Final Four 2 years ago. I think it's too much money. I don't.
Oh, it's too much.
I don't know if the money makes sense. Like last year, I think the report was Hunter Dickinson, who was a legit 7-footer that could do a lot of things, went from Michigan to Kansas for like $800,000. But maybe this is why Davis was in the portal so long.
Yeah, and now, Jim, I answered your question. I'm not saying he's worth $1 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're worth what people will pay you.
Well, I mean, he's worth $1 million to Arkansas, apparently.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the market, could he get $1 million from anybody? No, he could not. I just think Calipari probably is, again, I think anything he asks right now is a yes. Don't you view it that way?
Right time, right place, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And $1 million. But that does, run up the price on other people in portal world because right now, if you still want somebody out of the portal, they're going to be looking like, $1 million for this guy. What about me, coach? What about me? What do I need? If you were offering me 300, do I need 500 now? 750, 880?
And again, when we talk about
let me ask you for just an example. Yeah. Not that Mark Sears would ever do this to Alabama, right? But to come back out of the NBA, to come back, if you wanted to be that guy, you could say, Coach,
I'll answer the question this way:
Janelle Davis.
I'll pay $1 million for Mark Sears before I pay $1 million for Janelle Davis.
Yeah, but
if I'd answer it that way.
Let's say Alabama's plan was $800,000.
Yeah,
but now if I'm Mark Sears, I'm going to be sitting here going, well, I'm better than this guy. I mean, we were in the Final Four because of me.
Well, this is why you have representation, and Sears does have representation, and I'm making that call today.
Yeah. But so the price of business.
But I did hear from a reliable source, and I've said this before, the number for Sears was $250,000, which is way too low.
Yeah. I would just say the flip side of that is if you leave Alabama, you've got to find the $1 million. Who's giving Sears $1 million, do you think?
Arkansas.
Yeah. If they're going to give it to Davis, I would think so. But you got to want to go play for Cal and play for Arkansas. I mean,
right
you have to want to do that.
Right now, there's only 6 people on that Arkansas roster.
I know.
So they got room to negotiate. I would tell you staying in the NBA would be the other option if you wanted to give that a shot.
Well, I mean, that may not be $1 million either.
It may not be $1 million either. Landmark believer Bama's offer to Sears is $850,000.
That's what I always thought it would be, between $700,000-800,000. That seems like a good number for Sears.
I think it'll end up somewhere in that window.
Royal Payne wants to know where my rim protector's at. Need a rim protector out there.
Man, imagine being that young in school making that kind of money.
I mean, what a life, huh? Yeah, playing basketball.
And what does he have to pay for anyway?
Nothing. Yeah. Not a thing.
All right, so that is that's the basketball story that's out there today. If you believe it or don't believe it, but it makes sense there. Still no big man yet. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll continue to follow all the portal news. It does get tiresome at times, but it is the world we live in now. Jack State football changed their opener.
Saw that Thursday night game. Bad Thursday night schedule.
Moving it to Thursday night. Jack State and Coastal Carolina over in East Alabama. They'll open up on a Thursday night.
It's one of your better Thursday night games.
Quickly, it becomes one of the better Thursday night games with the Gamecocks there and the Chanticleers to open up the college.
What if it was Jack State in Colorado?
Oh, I'd love every minute of it. I'd go to Boulder for that.
You would?
No.
You'd grow a beard
it's something I say in the summer that I never do in the fall.
We'll talk to Dusty Dvoracek about college football when we come back on the show. That's being brought to you by Michelson Laser Vision. You can see clearly now that the problem with LT's...
Keep it going.
You can see clearly now that LT's retina is clear.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Woo. Go ahead, Lance. Why don't you just tell about it?
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. Michelson Laser Vision, a number I called over 2 decades ago. The fine folks at Michelson Laser Vision, 205-969-8100. Tax refund season. You're getting that money back from Uncle Sam. What are you going to do with it? How about do something for yourself? LASIK from our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Again, I'm speaking from experience. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of glasses or contacts. Got the procedure done. I've got 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the region's tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the Legends of the Game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Regent's Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. How about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com. Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or HemphillServices.com. That's 205-229-2090, HemphillServices.com.
Visit nextroundlive.com today. It's free, unless you haven't paid your internet bill. So go ahead and pay that, and then it's free. Heck, you can pull out your phone and go to nextroundlive.com right now, where you'll find all the free content that you can stomach. Unless you haven't paid your phone bill, then you need to pay that, and then you can enjoy all the free content. Nextroundlive.com is so rewarding that it should be behind a paywall, like Lance's Lock. So in summary, play Lance's Lock. Then you'll have enough money to pay your bills, and go to nextroundlive.com, where you're always at your happiest, for free.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
You guys know every morning, 6:30 to 7 Central Time on my drive in, I'm on with Dusty and Danny. I listen to them every day.
So much so they started having you as a guest, right?
I'm on occasionally.
This guy's going to listen every day.
I'm on occasionally.
Yeah.
I beg my way onto their show, but I listen every day. It gets me going in the morning so I can come in here and prepare for our show. I knew that Danny lost a bet and he was growing a beard. Dusty was growing a beard out of just being a good team player.
Right.
I expected more from Dusty's beard when he popped up on our screen here in preview.
Shot at Dusty right away.
If Dusty's is better than Danny's, Danny must be clean shaven today because Dusty's rolling in here with a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow.
Wow.
What's up, boys? Great to be with you. Jim, first of all, this started on Friday. Okay, I shaved Friday, haven't shaved since, so, I need a little bit of credit. DK looking like a baby, smooth as can be, so, and he's in his 50s, so we got to figure out what's going on with that. Big fan of you guys as well, and finally, I guess it took Oklahoma coming to the SEC here July 1. I get a chance to be a part of the show, but we had Kalen DeBoer on this morning. What an impressive guy he is, and boy, just tons to talk about as this college football season gets closer and closer.
Hey, before we get to DeBoer, Brent Venables, really shaky year one, but a major bounce back. I don't think enough people talked about year two. Where do you think it ultimately shakes out with Venables? Will we get more year one or more year two?
Well, I'll tell you, the people where I live sure hoping more year two. Now, the the path is much more difficult, as you guys know. Florida's probably got the toughest schedule in the SEC, but I don't think Oklahoma is far behind, with the Texas game being one of their home games. So they get 3 true home games with South Carolina, Tennessee, and then obviously Alabama coming to Norman. And the road games, boys, they're daunting. Missouri's not going to be easy. Auburn, I don't have to tell you guys how tough it is to play there. Death Valley to close it up. And then you still have to go to Oxford, Mississippi, which I think Lane Kiffin's got a heck of a team. So schedule's a lot more difficult than it has been. But I think Oklahoma's in a good spot. They're trying to shore up the line of scrimmage. This Dominic Williams decision is going to be big for Oklahoma. Do they land him? Is it LSU? Texas, Missouri also in the mix. They could use him to sturdy up the interior of that defensive line. But the defense, they've just recruited so much better, guys. I mean, Brent Venables has flipped the script as far as what the personnel looks like on the back 2 levels. I think Jackson Arnold is the real deal. The offensive line, they bring in the center from SMU, hear this transfer portal window, but they got, that's a bit of a concern for me. But I like the receiver room more than I've liked it in a long time. And I just like in year 3, the direction of this program. I'm admittedly biased. Guys, I played for Brent Venables. He sat in my home and recruited me back in 2000. So I played on top 5 defenses 4 straight years under Brent Venables. So I believe in the guy. We saw what he did at Clemson. I see what that roster looks like now compared to when he took over defensively. I like Oklahoma's opportunity heading to the SEC, but I think if they can get, I think the over-under 7.5, I think 8's realistic. If you can hit 9, I think you're feeling really, really good about year 3 and the trajectory forward for Oklahoma under Brent Venables.
Just real quick, Dusty Dvoracek with us. That's where we can follow him on Twitter, ESPN, and SiriusXM. You just mentioned that if I'm an Oklahoma fan, I've seen Ames, I've seen Manhattan, I've seen Stillwater. These are the places I go, the Lawrence, places I go all the time. I would be so fired up about a new set of road trips. I mean, they get to go to Auburn and Oxford and Baton Rouge. Those are incredible game day road trips. I would be so fired up about that if I'm an Oklahoma fan.
They are, man. I mean, fired up. So 2022, 2023, we did a home and home with Alabama. So Alabama came to us in 22. We went there in 22. In 2002, we went there in 2003. And the fans still talk about that. And just to throw it out there, I played on the team. Brody Croyle might have had a sack and might have separated his shoulder in that game. I don't know. I can't fully remember. But my parents went. Maybe. My parents went, and they said they were treated with unbelievable hospitality. They loved the experience. Brian Denny was incredible. So there's no doubt, man. They are fired up. They're on cloud 9. That's part of the allure of the SEC. Look, it's the best league in college football. It's also the best fan bases and game day environments in college football. And I don't know how many times, or if you guys have been to Norman, it is very similar to Norman, Oklahoma on a Saturday. And that's what I love. To me, it's like a bunch of like-minded thinkers because the appetite for college football in Norman, Oklahoma is no different than the places you just listed off. So I can tell you the one place people are fired up and excited about, but not from a price point. I've been told Oxford, Mississippi is not cheap on a weekend game day. I've had a bunch of friends shoot me pictures of what it costs to stay at or around Oxford. And I'll tell you what, man, that place fills up quickly, and it is not easy on the pocketbook for sure.
Yeah, not a ton of hotels there.
We don't have there's a few cities you'll go to where there are not many hotel rooms, and you need to really start searching the Verbos and the other places to stay. Before we talk other stuff, I got to get something off my chest. I said this the first time I saw it in 2000. Was it 2002 in Norman or 2003? I was on that road trip.
3 was in Norman, right?
No, it was 02 Norman, 03.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So 2002, I was there. I did the Dennis Franchione show for Alabama at the point. So I'm on the plane with the team. So I go out there, and as a kid growing up, man, that damn Boomer schooner, schooner I loved it. I loved it. It would come out at the Orange Bowl. I loved it. And I get there and I see it in person, and it's so much smaller than I thought it was when I was a kid watching it on television. Where do they get those small horses? Those aren't real size horses, are they?
Boomer and Sooner. I mean, I think that they're normal size horses. I really don't know, Jim. I know that they're big enough to pull a wagon after touchdowns, baby. That's all that matters.
You hope they're exhausted.
I mean, those aren't the kind of wagons we conquered the West with, right? When we moved from the colonies out west, it was those kind of wagons?
Conestoga wagon, baby. Absolutely. There's no doubt. I really don't know as far as the size of the horse. I know that we had a spill a couple of years ago on a home game. I think that they took a little bit too sharp of a turn, and the wagon took a tumble. So maybe you're onto something. Maybe they need to beef up Boomer and Sooner with this move to the SEC. I'll tell you this, though. That 0-2 game, do you remember how hot it was?
Oh, yeah.
It felt like we were on the sun. It was like an early September game, mid-September. I want to say you guys had Shad Williams in the backfield.
And they opened the game with an onside kick.
What's that?
They opened the game with an onside kick.
Yep.
Alabama did.
It was a knockdown dragout. I mean, you guys came in there and gave us everything we wanted and some. And it was, and then the game in Tuscaloosa the next year. I don't know if you remember, we hit on a fake punt.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you were number one in the country, and you were number one in the country. You were going down in Tuscaloosa until that fake punt.
Such a great call at that time, though. That fake punt was so well called by Stoops.
That was when Big Game Bob was. He seemed to be pushing all the right buttons at the right time. I'll tell you what, though, Jim, I'm going to do some investigative journalism, and I'm going to find out about those horses. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, that's when the Indians had the upper hand, that small-ass wagon. Hey, let me ask you. So I asked you about a third-year coach in Venables. What about Mario Cristobal? So he's 12-13 in 2 years. I've got a feeling with Cam Ward, they are going to win the ACC this year. But I was going to ask you the future of the ACC. You know, Clemson's kind of been stuck in mud the last few years. Florida State had that really good year last year, but they lost a lot to the draft. Who do you feel like is going to be the alpha in the next 5 years or so in the ACC?
I think the better question is, what does the ACC look like in the next 5 years? I mean, because you mentioned Florida State, you didn't mention Clemson, who is suing their conference to get out of their contract. So, like, you know, I mean, I think that there's so many question marks right now. I mean, it's very clear. Michael Alford, who I know very well, the athletic director there in Tallahassee, they want at least to be able to have some freedom and make their own decisions. Where that ultimately lands, we'll find out. You know, Clemson, obviously, when the extension for the CFP came out, and those numbers were unveiled with the percentages being way skewed to the Big Ten, the SEC. I think that's when Clemson's like, okay, enough's enough. We can't continue to be a part of this. So I do like Miami this year, but you're going to have to kind of prove it to me. You know, like I think Cam Ward's a great addition. I think he is one of the better quarterbacks in the portal. Personally, I love Damian Martinez. He's from right in my neck of the woods, North Central Texas. In Louisville, I've really enjoyed watching him at Oregon State the last 2 years. I think he's an upgrade to Parrish in the backfield, a bit of a bruiser, physical style runner, which is what Mario wants. You know, that's who Mario's offensive line guy, as you guys know, and he wants to win the line of scrimmage. And I think with a back like him, he's going to give you that chance. But they're really going to have to prove it to me because I thought they'd be better last year than what they were. They've got some good pieces in place. Got another big wide receiver transfer from Houston that's going to help as well, be a top target for Cam Ward. So they've hit on some guys. They put their money where their mouth is. Now they've got to go out and actually prove it on the field. I can't sit here and tell you I think they're the favorite. For me, I think it's got to be Clemson is my favorite in the ACC next season. I think that defense is going to be really stout. I do think Cade Klubnik's got to show us a lot. We've still kind of been waiting and waiting and waiting. He's shown glimpses, but a lot of inconsistency. And I think Mike Norvell is a dude, man. Like I don't think Florida State's going to be what they were last year, but I don't see them falling off a cliff. I think that defense is going to be really good. Patrick Payton continues to put on weight. He's an excellent edge defender. I think Marvin Jones Jr. is going to help them as well. And I think defensively, Adam Fuller's got a squad. We know what DJU is, I think. You know, I mean, he can win you games, but don't ask him to do too much. And the one thing I like about Mike Norvell, their bread and butter is the counter. They run counter read till the cows come home. And if they can win the line of scrimmage, I think their offensive line will be pretty good and run the rock, which got a pretty good running back. I think Roydell Williams, a nice complimentary piece that they brought in from Alabama. So if they do, they're not going to be undefeated and run through the ACC. But if you're asking me to plot it for next season, at least the next couple seasons, I think it's still a league that's run right now by Florida State, Clemson, Florida State in no particular order.
Dusty Dvoracek is with us. You see him with Lugs and Dave Pash on College Football Saturdays. You hear him every single morning with Danny Cannell on SiriusXM College, SiriusXM 84. So I've heard all my life, you never want to be the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaces the guy. You talked this morning on your show to the guy that's going to replace the man. Kalen DeBoer was on your show this morning. I do appreciate a guy that looks at that and says, no, I'm not going to believe that narrative. I'm going to take a job I think I need to take. I don't know how Kalen DeBoer will do, but I appreciate the fact that he didn't shrink down from that opportunity.
I totally agree. So full transparency, and 8 years now, ESPN doing games, I've come across most coaches in this profession, calling their games, having them on radio shows, whatever it may be. This is my first time to speak to Coach DeBoer. What an awesome guy he is. Easy to talk to. I love the energy he brings just watching from afar. I appreciate what he's able to do at Fresno and then really what he was able to do in a short period of time there at Washington. And to your point, like, most people shy away from that. This is freaking Nick Saban, okay? I mean, the greatest, in my opinion, that's ever done it in college football. I actually have some firsthand knowledge. I was on the wrong side of his first national championship when he was at LSU. So I know what his teams are all about, and he clearly took Alabama just to a level that really, for that period of time, we haven't seen before. So, and everyone said exactly what you're saying. Oh, my gosh, who wants to follow the guy? Kalen DeBoer said, let's go.
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer said, this is a great opportunity. This is a roster that's ready to roll. This is as passionate, if not maybe the most passionate fan base in all of college football. What more could you ask for? What more could you want? I think he was very happy at Washington. But I think Greg Byrne clearly was able to make a pitch to him, and I think the place kind of sells itself. So, like you, there's been plenty of hires that I've said, that's a home run hire, and it's just bad. And I've said there's been times when, hey, that's a bad hire, and it turns out to be really good. So you never know. I mean, there's no way to know for sure, but I do appreciate and I respect the heck out of a guy that says, I'm not worried about who was here before. I'm focused on this opportunity at one of the absolute best, if not the best, football program in the country. And I've got this opportunity in front of me. I'm going to take advantage of it. And based off what he's saying, I don't see how it's not going to work, guys. I know a lot of people anticipate some fall from grace. I think Alabama's going to be really good next year. I think they're going to be really good next year. And they're going to be right there in the thick of it, fighting for a playoff spot and fighting for another SEC championship. Like, I'm not trying to place the bar too high, but I think Kalen DeBoer knows exactly who he is, knows what he wants to do. And I think he also knows he doesn't have to change or do too much. He's got to make it his program, which he talked about. I asked him what the identity of his football team is going to be, what that culture is going to look like. And he painted a great picture. But I think a lot of the elements he spoke to are already in place. And the fact that, he looks at Nick Saban as a key asset, not as somebody he needs to be worried about. He even told us that he's picked up the phone and he's hit up Coach Saban multiple times to pick his brain or ask him for help with different things. And, of course, Coach Saban is right there to do that. How many other places have that kind of resource at their disposal to be able to pick the phone up and be able to ask Nick Saban for a little help? So I've been really impressed with Kalen DeBoer. Even more impressed after speaking with him. And I'm not saying he's going to be Nick Saban or replicate what Nick Saban did, guys, but I really think they made a hell of a hire, and he's going to have a lot of success there.
I am a worrier by nature, so I'll play the other side of the coin here. You've been in broadcasting and played the game. You're going from a defensive-minded coach to an offensive-minded coach. Do you ever see a change in the system? Like, will there be any dusty 3D dominant defenders on this Alabama team this year?
Well, Agent Zero, I will guarantee will be. I mean, Deontay Lawson, what a place to start there. I mean, I think Jaheim Otis, I think he is going to be a problem. I mean, that's a guy who just continued I think when he came in at like 380, something ridiculous, he's probably down now to 325. I love him. I mean, you got Jahad Campbell back. They picked up Overton from A&M. I mean, yeah, I expect those four in particular are going to be candidates for, and I appreciate the plug, Jim. By the way, if you don't listen, we don't just give credit to offensive players on Dusty and Danny in the morning. Dusty's first for a reason. Defense does win championships, boys, and the 3D awards are Dusty's dominant defenders. And there's been plenty of Alabama players on those. Will Anderson was he was on there dang near every week 2 years ago. And Deontay Lawson, I think he's the best returning linebacker in college football. And doing the Arkansas game this year, being at practice, I was just blown away. Like, in a room filled with alphas, he was the alpha of alphas. You know what I'm saying? Like, Coach Saban knows what he's looking for, and he's going after a certain type of player. And to me, Deontay Lawson just stood out, not just with his play, but whenever he spoke, everybody listened. So I think that, and kind of like Coach DeBoer said, one of his main fundamental foundational pieces is a player-led team. When you've got a guy like that on the defensive side, I think it gives you a great opportunity for success. I don't worry, but I think secondary is, if you want to point to an area of concern, I think it is secondary with the two corners going in the draft. Caleb Downs going on to Ohio State. But Malachi Moore is a heck of a player, and they've got other good players. But, I mean, if there is an area that I'd say, I don't know exactly how that shapes out, it'd be in the secondary. But I also think Kay Womack is a heck of a defensive mind. I think the fact that you got Mo Linguist to come over as well, you just took two head coaches and had them leave their spots to come be your co-defensive coordinators. Like, I like that aspect and that vision that they're going to have collectively, and I think the personnel is pretty good as well, Jim.
You mentioned one of those road trips for Oklahoma this year going to Jordan-Hare. Where are you on Hugh Freeze and Auburn in year two?
Intrigued. I think it's a big year. I don't know where I fully set. What's the ceiling for Peyton Thorne? I don't know. I had a couple of his games at Michigan State a couple years back, and I thought that, he showed some promise. I've also seen some inconsistency. So I think Hugh Freeze is a very smart offensive mind, and he obviously knows how to win the SEC. He proved that at Ole Miss. But I just look at this SEC, man, and it's so loaded. It's so packed. What's their win total this year, guys? Is it 6.5?
Yeah, I think 6.5 or 7.5.
I go over that. Yeah.
I think they're probably 7. I don't know if I say they go sailing over, but I think they're a bowl team in year number 2. I think year 3 is, to me, where you're going to see that big potential jump. But I think, to me, this is a year that I'm intrigued with, and I think a lot of people are, because there was a lot of year 2 coaches last year that didn't take that jump. One of them is Billy Napier. Another one's Mario Cristobal that we talked about in Miami. So I think that, year 2, we typically get an idea, which is why I think it was so important for Coach Venables to have that 10-win season and beat Texas, because I think that, you can oftentimes get a real glimpse what the future is going to hold in year number 2. So I'm a person that's paid to give my opinions, and I typically have strong ones. I don't have a strong take or a strong opinion year 2 for Auburn under Hugh Freeze. So that's also another place that I haven't been.
Oh, you got to do
I
it.
haven't called the game.
Yeah.
Oxford and Auburn are 2 of the only places I haven't been to in the SEC. And I've heard, you guys are the experts. You're right there in the state. I've been told that it's as good, if not the best, game day environment that there is in all college football. Can you co-sign that?
Yeah, I've always said, and for some reason Auburn fans have gotten upset at this, like I'm saying it's the only reason they win games. It's not, but it's certainly a contributor. I think in a big game, now I would say these are like Iron Bowls, maybe an LSU, a Georgia. In a big game, Jordan-Hare is worth a touchdown to me, and sometimes more.
No, it is.
Like I've seen what I thought were better teams go in there and get rattled. An Alabama team under Nick Saban getting rattled, but they did, man. I mean, I saw Alabama team after Alabama team go in there and get rattled.
It's the best home field advantage in college football.
Yeah.
To the way I say it is, it makes a team a team that may be good, great on a given night, average, good. So they improve a lot there. And the Tiger Walk, the Eagle Flight,
They do it all right.
Unbelievable game day experience, especially at night. If you catch a big night game, it is tremendous. Before you go, 2 quick questions, because you do a lot of TV with our buddy Luganville, and we had a deal with him at one point where he was getting free boots from a local provider of boots as a sponsorship deal. So who's got a better boot collection, you or Luganville, because you're a Texas and Oklahoma guy? And the second question, have you ever bathed in Lake Texahoma with a bar of Avery soap? Because I've done that. I've been in that lake and took a bath in that lake on a pontoon boat one time. So have you ever bathed in Lake Texahoma, and who's got the better boot collection?
Okay, Lugs all day, every day on the boot collection. Okay, I own 1 pair of boots. They're ostrich. They're beautiful. I break them out for certain events. But Lugs is like an everyday boot wearer.
Yep.
I mean, he's borderline cowboy.
Yes.
You know, I like to think of myself as a little bit more modern, a little bit more hip. My boys keep me cool. I'm more of a Jordan wearer, so but I will break out. We go to a concert. We go somewhere, I'll break out the cowboy boots, but that's Tom Luganville all day, every day.
Yeah, I think I've seen Luganville in a bolo before.
Yeah, boots and a bolo, yeah.
And a hat, yeah.
I've seen Lugs in a lot of stuff. That's probably not for the great. What a great guy my man him. Tom Luganville is. I mean, how can you not love him? He is absolutely awesome, and it's been fun, man. It's been 3 years now. Dave, myself, and Tom have been together, and we've had a heck of a run, man. It's a really fun crew, and we've had a chance to call some really good games together. As far as Lake Texoma, I've done a lot of things in Lake Texoma. Some I'm probably not very proud of, but bathing with a bar of soap, that's all you, Jim. You got me, man.
Dunaway's guys trips, man. They get out of hand.
It was co-ed, but we had 2 pontoon boats for a weekend on that lake, and we're cruising around, and sometimes you just jump in.
Sometimes
you dock it, jump in there, and you shower off in the lake or bathe off in the lake.
Now, I am a lake rat. I grew up I'm from Lake Dallas, Texas, which is Lake Louisville. Grew up working as a gas dock tenant at the lake, so I'm a big lake guy. And then we have a lake house in Grand Lake that we basically spend most of our summer in. So we're big lake people, and I'm gonna tell you what, we just got a new dock built at our house. I'm gonna spend a lot of time on the dock. Who needs a shower at the house when I can just break out some Ivory soap? Now that you've given me this great idea, by summer's end, it won't be Lake Texoma, but Grand Lake bathing. Here I come. That's going to be my new mission for this summer, is to take a full-fledged bath, Jim Dunaway style, in Grand Lake.
Yeah, you know why I'm on the show. You listen enough to know I'm from the mud puddle. They say the reason you go Ivory soap, because it floats.
Okay.
It
never
floats.
lose it. Yeah.
You don't lose it in the lake. It floats.
Right. I think all soap floats.
Does it?
Okay. Well, certainly Ivory does. He's not wrong. All right.
Way to ruin a good ad, LT.
I got one more thing real quick. So you guys have these advertisements on the screens behind you.
Oh, you've noticed.
Which is brilliant. Yeah. Which is brilliant, by the way. I just want to help you out with one of your advertisers. I saw a Rowback on there.
Yeah.
Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
My wife got me 2 of those for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
The best hoodie sweatshirt I've ever bought in my life.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Lugs gets free boots. I don't know what this can turn into. But tell the folks at Rowback, or however you say it, I love them.
Yes.
Their product is phenomenal. And if they need my address for me to get some of their swag, I can give it, no problem whatsoever. But that company, grade A, 100%.
Until we get that set up, tell Miss Dvoracek, TNR20, 20% off your initial order there, so she can save when she orders for you.
Yeah, hey, and great stuff for Mother's Day, too.
That's
you
right.
can buy her something there.
There you go, Rowback, code TNR20 at checkout.
Hey, and if you stay with us on the line, you'll hear about 3 or 4 more sponsors before we go to break.
We'll get a few in, don't worry.
Because I hear you guys now occasionally doing the live reads on your show, and I'm like, we do 31 of them a show, and you guys are working one here and now, and I'm like, it's coming, boys. It's coming. It's coming your way.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the time, Dusty. Always great talking with you.
All right, boys. I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
All right, take care. Dusty Dvoracek with us, ESPN. And Sirius XM, always good to talk with him, Dusty Dvoracek on Twitter.
And speaking of which, Mother's Day.
That's right.
We are 10 days out. I think 10 days is the number. Look, this is simple. Every guy procrastinates. You're thinking about getting mom something. It is this easy. You're sitting at a desktop right now. You can order this online. Give mom the gift of luxury from Birmingham's Best Day Spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa. Taylor Corn loves to go to the Woodhouse Day Spa. It is fantastic. They've got a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatments, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, order mom that perfect gift right now, 24/7 online. Don't procrastinate anymore. Do it right now. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That's Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Or stop in, see Stuart and that great staff located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. Tell them the next round sent you.
And our friends at the University of Montevallo, if you're looking for a place for your son or daughter to call home for 4 or 5 years to get that college education, there's no better place than Montevallo. Whatever that passion is, they'll help you find it and lay out a path for you to reach that. Montevallo.edu to schedule an in-person tour and get all the information you need about the University of Montevallo. 23 fully funded scholarship sports right there, and also an unbelievable place to just find a community. Great fraternities, sororities, and a lot more. It's montevallo.edu, montevallo.edu. Time for a break. Back in a moment here on TNR.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from the next round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com. There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th. LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Back with you on the next round as we continue on here on the show. portal closed last night for college football, but some names will continue to leak out. One name that's already in there, Cormani McClain, the big 5-star guy from Colorado, getting a lot of interest, according to On3 Sports, from the SEC, the Big 10, and the Big 12. SEC teams mentioned to show some interest in Cormani McClain, the 5-star DB. LSU, Oklahoma, Texas, Auburn, Texas A&M, and Georgia, those 6 schools. If you're looking for a DB, that's another big name out there that just because the deadline's passed doesn't mean that portal names won't still be trickling out today, but also the signings will go into the summer here.
Yeah, and there's a 48-hour window where schools process your paperwork. So if a guy jumps in at the deadline, you may see his name for 48 hours. And it should be pointed out the basketball portal closes tonight at 11:59:59. So you're almost finished with us talking about guys being in the portal.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Yeah, some guy asked me on the golf course yesterday, this portal, how much are you going to keep talking about that? And I said, well, it's sort of free agency for college right now.
I mean, if people weren't coming to schools you guys cared about, we probably would very rarely talk about it, but it keeps happening.
A couple of things here that Forrester has that we'll start with Shedeur Sanders. And this will be our Hemp Hill running hot moment of the day. Well, we don't have the Shedeur Sanders tweet here, but Shedeur Sanders sent out a tweet last night where he basically co-signs what was in the Athletic story. It was a tweet about the story on the Athletic where Xavier Smith is calling out Deion Sanders and says he was brutal, man. He never got to know me. Other players were saying he was trying to break us. No relationship to us. He would, basically just bash guys into tears, almost like we were in a TV reality show. And then Shedeur Sanders tweets out last night this tweet. Don't even remember him, to be honest. Bro had to be very mid at best talking about this guy. And everyone was like, dude, you're doing exactly what all these players are saying in this article that you and your dad were doing, that there was the hierarchy of the Sanders and Travis, and then everyone else was just there to support the Sanders and Travis.
Boy, I would think that is a toxic environment, too. And, I don't know, if you don't have a good locker room, how are you going to win games? And they don't even know who's going to be in that locker room. Shedeur is an incredible player, though. We tend to forget how bad that offensive line was. He was running for his life all year long. The guy threw for over 3,000 yards. He completed 70% of his passes. Over 30 touchdowns, only turned the ball over 3 times. So imagine if he had a good offensive line.
Yeah. And as Nicholas says in the chat room, he remembers that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He remembers that guy.
And by the way, Deion has, as Kenny says, Deion also has co-signed this tweet. Deion has jumped in as well.
Yeah.
And I guess you play it differently when your dad's the one that's being attacked as the head coach. Like if it were just your head coach, you might say something different. I mean, to call the guy mid, he must have been mid, and to say you don't know him, I don't know that I believe that.
Well, that is petty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the ultimate form of disrespect. I don't remember that guy.
That's one thing I've noticed is, we've seen a lot of star players come through this state, the Cam Newtons and the Derrick Henrys of the world. And those guys knew walk-ons and scout team guys because they took time to get to know them, even if they weren't, there for 3 or 4 years.
Well, those teams were winning championships.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what happens.
And they knew the walk-ons of the scout team guys made them better.
Yeah.
They made them better players.
Hey, and Cam Newton
and teams.
You can be a star and still be good like that. Cam Newton is as big a star as there ever was in college football that year in 2010.
Yeah,
right?
but you can't accomplish the dream without the team.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you
Thank
got
you, John Wooden. I mean, who said
I don't
that?
know. That's a good quote. I think Lance ought to own it.
No, I think it's somebody's.
Yeah.
You've got to to be a good football team. You got to have a really good scout team. You know who's going to populate that scout team are guys that are probably never going to play on Saturday.
That's right.
But they go out and they bust their butt to make you better, and any good player respects that. And that's what's frustrating about that is just the culture that wouldn't respect that.
So does that come back to haunt Shedeur at all, like Spencer Rattler in that made-for-television documentary? No, I mean people keep projecting Shedeur to be first overall.
But if Shedeur was kind of mid like Spencer Rattler, again, Rattler can be really good and he can be really bad. Talent's going to outweigh that.
I promise you this is going to happen because crap like this just happens in my life. Shedeur Sanders is going to end up being the Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback of the future.
Yeah. Well, you're going to love it, but what if he tears it up? You'll be fine with it.
I mean, like Shedeur, I don't like that at all, but I think that's more of what's going on with his dad. I think once he gets out of the clutches of his dad, I think he's going to be fine.
I want to try to find this tweet. Do you have a commercial you can do real quick?
Our friends at Hemp Hill.
Yeah.
We call them endorsements. Tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill.
So it's going to be in the 90s the next couple of days around the state of Alabama. You need to make sure that AC unit is up and running the right way. Our friends at Hemp Hill Services, they've been doing this since 1954. It is the name Birmingham has trusted. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you at Hemp Hill Services. Again, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
The smoking musket, which covers West Virginia. This is not like breaking news. This is just an opinion, which I never had thought of it in these terms. The smoking you can't hold a musket like that.
It's a pistol, but I know.
The smoking musket. There you go. The smoking
that
musket.
That one looked a little weird, though.
It kind of did. It's
kind of like how much pressure there was to load that musket when somebody was running at you.
Oh, you had to be fast.
Do that smoking musket again.
Well, you had to be.
You
fast.
Think you would have dropped your ball? You
had to get it in there,
Rockstar,
and then you
get it.
Yeah, and then what'd you do? Do you think about that in the shower like you think about Alabama quarterbacks in the shower?
I think about the show in the shower.
I thought you were thinking about Alabama quarterbacks.
This just happened to be Alabama quarterback at the time. That is really well done, by the way. God, if
would you like that hair?
I'd take that hair right now. Because you know what? I could go see Dr. B to fix the balding spot in the middle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think once it dries off with your towel that you've used 8 straight showers, it won't be too bald.
Well, that's really my eyes and my nose.
Yeah. Scott's pretty good at what he does.
Yeah. No, AI is pretty good. We've got AI working now.
Hey, do you know how to use it?
No.
No, that Scott's good at what he does.
Yeah. That is really
good,
though.
That is hilarious.
Can you send that to Maggie? Give her something to think about tonight.
Oh, wow. So good. Wow. Jim's got hair, and he's in the shower. The smoking musket says the absolute worst thing Deion has done to Colorado is put them in a position where every team on their schedule is revved to 11 to beat the you-know-what out of them.
Yeah.
And they don't have the talent to deal with it. I mean, that's exactly right.
That's why I can't
It took the smoking musket to come up with that?
Have you ever said it?
No, but it's 100% right.
I mean, if I put the over-under at 3.5 wins for Colorado, where would you guys go?
I mean, I'd go under. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'd feel safe under.
Yeah, I really
under 3.5?
I would.
I believe that a superstar quarterback is still going to be a disaster.
I think 4 is the number.
But everybody's turned to 11 to beat Georgia. Everybody's turned to 11 to beat Alabama. Everybody's turned to 11 to beat Texas and USC. Most of the time, they got the talent and the coach to deal with it, right? When they come to town. And that's the thing, what Deion has done to Colorado. They don't have the talent to deal with that.
Yeah, it's a great point there. All right, 4 Downs every day brought to you by Slice Pizza. Great place to go to lunch. We got 5 locations now, but we're going to keep it at 4 Downs. Tell us about those 5 locations, LT.
Yeah, the original, Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, and now Edgewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Local pizza, local ingredients from the soul pie, the Bajalia special, the hot mama. You're going to absolutely love it. So unique, that really good thin crust pizza. They've got delicious wings. Dunaway was talking about those last week. Fantastic salads, desserts, great selection of beer, wine. Stop in, Slice Pizza and Brew. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
What's the worst sports month as we start May or February?
February at least gives you the Super Bowl.
You get the Super Bowl.
Oh, but February gives you the race for the NCAA basketball tournament and conference championships.
It is good. The regular season's good at the end. You're a NASCAR guy. You get the Daytona 500 in February, right?
Daytona 500 in February.
Now let's do May.
May you get the NBA, NHL playoffs.
Yeah, Stanley Cup playoffs and NBA playoffs at the same time are pretty good.
Yeah, but right now that's behind February to me.
I'm to the point in baseball where I feel like I get a decent idea where everybody is, so now I'm just kind of
cruise control until we get to the
playoffs. So it kind of, God, if you're a Braves fan, you can't watch. If you're in your own Comcast, you can't watch them now.
But at least in May, I get another golf major.
You do the PGA. It used to not be in May. It is now.
Yeah, that's sort of the one that sucks the most.
My least favorite one. But
it just seems like Super Bowl kind of trumps everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that college basketball race.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I mean, that last week of February.
Yeah, but here's the thing
I like
about
all of
May
it.
is if May's bad, I got options. I can just be outside every weekend, you know?
Yeah.
I don't have that in February.
Oh, February's the worst month of the year.
I need February to be good for me. So I'm going to say worst sports month May, but I can deal with it.
Of those two, May, I agree with everyone else. June may be the worst of them all.
Yeah, you've got NBA Finals, but
I'd say July's worse than June. What do you get in July?
you got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
The Olympics.
And I've got SEC. I've got SEC media days.
Well, that's not a sporting event.
It's talking college football, and it turns into the start of NFL camps opening up. Then the preseason games in August.
Are the Paris Olympics, are those in July?
It is.
Second down.
Are you guys excited about that?
No.
I don't even watch the Olympics.
Which Big Ten coach has the best chance of making a college football playoff in the next 5 years? Luke Fickell with Wisconsin, Matt Rule at Nebraska, or Jonathan Smith at Michigan State?
I'm going to go Luke Fickell, Wisconsin. You know,
The worst or the best?
The best. You gave the stat the other day on consecutive years with a player drafted, and Wisconsin was in that. They were like 23 or something.
1979 is the last time they've not had a guy drafted.
If you look at I wish I had this in front of me. I meant to favorite it.
I know it. What is it?
Consecutive years with a winning season.
Wisconsin hasn't had a losing season since 1980.
It's been a long time.
It's
been a long time. I'll pull it up. I'll give you the last winning season or losing season.
I thought that. I mean, so we're not counting COVID, right?
Well, I think COVID. Everybody just dismisses that.
Well, the Big Ten just had a disaster. I mean, it seemed like every one of their teams was
They
bad.
only played 5 games. I don't know how you'd hold that against them. Did they have a losing season in COVID?
I don't know. I mean, I know Penn State did. Michigan
no,
did.
They were 4-3, so they had a winning season. Their last losing season. You have got to go all the way back to 2001 with Barry Alvarez, 5-7.
2001.
I mean, they're never like.
Well, let me ask you this: is there any SEC team that can go back further?
Now they're back-to-back 7-6. Well, Alabama only goes back 17 years because they had a losing season before Saban got there.
I think Georgia goes back, right?
Oh, I would doubt it.
When did Rick take over? I thought he took over in 2001.
Yeah, but
I don't know if he ever had a losing season. I know he had some 8-5s and 7-6.
some disappointments. Yeah, we can do that another time and do a little research on that. But the question to me, you say Luke Fickell or
Jonathan Smith or Matt Rule.
Best chance at making playoffs first?
Yeah.
I would go Luke Fickell because the build is less there. But Matt Rule, I think, has his quarterback, and nobody hit the portal from that team. So they got everybody back, and I think it's a bigger build for Jonathan Smith there.
See, I think Jonathan Smith is the answer, just because I think he's the best coach.
I went there. 2010 for Georgia, by the way, at 6-7. That shows you how hard it is to do. And Wisconsin has done that. They just are consistently there.
Third down.
Chet Holmgren, 22 years old today. Moving forward, if you could represent either Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City Thunder or Caleb Williams, your first overall pick this past weekend of the Chicago Bears, who would you represent?
I think I would go Chet Holmgren. Basketball money is just absurd in free agency.
You can play forever.
Yeah.
There's rarely is there a one-off injury that's going to end your career.
And here's the problem is, as a quarterback, I really don't ever get to have real free agency. I mean, I still cash in, but I'm never on the market as a quarterback. I mean, the Bears are, if he's any good, the Bears are never going to let him
I
get
would
free
say
agency.
so. Holmgren's already established in the NBA, had a great season this year. I think he's going to be a superstar. But I bet Caleb Williams has made more endorsement money up until this point than Chet has.
Yeah, to this point.
But I still would take Chet because, great NBA players make elite NFL quarterback money.
That's right, max contract. And I actually get to free agent as a great NBA player.
A lot.
Yeah, I get there frequently, so I'm able to maximize my deal time and time again.
Players run that league, and I'd rather represent him. And he's proven already. Caleb Williams, we don't know yet.
And less risk of injury playing basketball than football.
Fourth down.
Tim McGraw, 57 years old today. This is random as hell.
Live like you were dying.
Tim McGraw or Donovan McNabb?
Better career?
Yeah.
I'd go Tim McGraw.
I would too. Done it for a couple of decades now.
Thought
An actor.
would jump out. That's you use that loosely.
Did you do the air quotes?
Donovan McNabb, not an actor. I don't know where the hell Donovan McNabb is.
McNabb, we forget how good he was.
I don't forget how good Donovan McNabb.
No,
McNabb
really
for 5 years was the top 3 quarterback.
Yeah. Just Tim McGraw. I mean, that's what makes, if you gave me Tim McGraw and another country music singer or an artist,
Tim McGraw and Morgan Wallen.
It's an easier comparison. These are always so hard to do because they're so, so different. But I would go Tim McGraw. I liked him in Friday Night Lights.
If I said Tim McGraw or Morgan Wallen, ultimately the better career.
Ultimately better Morgan Wallen.
Yeah. Morgan might not be alive in 2 or 3 years.
He may not be, but he's off to a good start in his career. I do know that.
He's filled some stadiums already.
Oh, I know.
I'm not the big, and I don't even really
How
care.
different would the narrative be, though, if that chair would have hit the cop?
Oh, it'd be hugely different, yeah. I mean, he's extremely fortunate in that aspect.
Cranberry and vodka, man, it'll get you.
Is that what he was drinking?
Rumor has it. Outkick is reporting. That's 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice. Also, Redmont vodka. Hey,
you can get Redmont vodka at Slice and their Redmont salad. Anyway, 5 locations of Slice. Redmont vodka. If you're at a location they don't have it, tell them to get it. Available in 22 states, gluten-free, 8 times distilled, locally owned and operated. Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind it. Pick up a bottle today of Redmont vodka.
One other note here about coming off the NFL draft. We talk all the time about Auburn's roster and the endorsement it was on the 2 coaches, the end of Malzahn and Brian Harson's time there, that Hugh Freeze is having to dig out of a hole. How come we don't give Billy Napier the same grace? Because Dan Mullen's recruiting has produced the worst draft class in Florida since 1980. So many of those Dan Mullen recruits transferred out, and the one draft pick that Florida has was a Billy Napier portal acquisition in Pearsall.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one knock on Dan Mullen. Did such a good job with developing, 2-3-star guys in Starkville, but once he got big-time program, it just didn't work out. It worked out for 1 year. You just wonder if Dan Mullen ever goes back to coaching, does he take a job more like Mississippi State? Because it's more of a comfort zone for him.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm an AD, I would be scared to death to hire him based on those numbers right there.
How did he get the talent to Mississippi State?
Well, he got a generational quarterback,
right? And fishing from a different pool.
Well, and he got. It wasn't just Dak Prescott. You can't just say it was Dak Prescott because he got some really good players there. I mean, Fletcher Cox.
Oh yeah.
Those receivers. I mean, they didn't necessarily De'Runnya Wilson was an excellent receiver. I mean, it didn't necessarily translate to the NFL for some of those guys.
Why didn't he work that hard at Florida, or did he just?
I don't know. I mean, it helps when you get a generational quarterback. I mean, obviously that's going to cover up a lot of flaws if you can do that. It covered them up for Gene Chizik. It covered them up for Dan Mullen. But he's not. Dak Prescott's not the only guy Dan Mullen ever recruited. I feel like in a lot of ways he might have recruited better at State than he did at Florida, which is puzzling.
Yeah, but a lot of times it's your coaching staff. I just think of Jeff Collins and Manny Diaz, some of those guys who were on his staff in Starkville there. Maybe they were out busting it.
When he wasn't.
And then Dan, when he got to Florida, didn't have those same guys all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his future is. I don't love him in the broadcasting world.
Well, I mean, look, Ross is right. Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, in addition. He recruited good defensive guys.
Yeah. Darius Slay, Preston Smith.
No. I mean, it wasn't just Prescott, but that was a generational quarterback. I mean, that's worth 2 or 3 recruits when you can get a guy like that.
But what were those guys coming out of high school?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
It just seemed like he developed players a lot better at Mississippi State than he did at Florida.
Yeah. Our friends at Way to Wellness helping us as we head to break here. I want to tell you how you can put a break on that weight gain. All you have to do is get online to planforme.com, planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. This is videos. You watch us on our video platform, getting our free consultation. You can get that too by going to planforme.com. Way to Wellness can help you with weight loss, control your blood pressure. Also, you can sit there and control your cholesterol numbers all through your diet and what you eat, how you eat. I have these protein bars that sort of keep me revved up between meals. I love that. You can find out what's for you with no contract, no sign-up fee. And as I said, that first consultation is free. Just go to the website, planforme.com, planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. How about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239 equal housing lender.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Regions Tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Regions Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Back with you on the next round. Lake Fest is coming up. LT's going to tell you about that in a second. Don't forget, though, Friday we're live down on the Gulf Coast in Miramar Beach for another music festival that's going on down there. Tell us about that music festival before we get to Lake Fest.
Oh, you got it on your phone. I messed it up yesterday and said it was Moon Crush. I can pull it if you want me to.
No. I'll pull it up here.
But St. Paul and the Broken Bones, and they are local, right?
Yeah, it's in Alabama. The lead is from Alabama. Are they all from Alabama?
I think a lot of them are from Birmingham, yeah.
Yeah.
The horn players.
There's a possibility, Rocky, that we're going to be interviewing those guys on Friday afternoon down there.
He's supposed to be he's a real shy guy. So
is he really?
Lead singer's a shy guy.
But
on stage, he is not.
Are you serious, though?
Letterman and David Letterman and the guys really loved them, right?
Yes.
They did a couple of
Paul Schaefer.
stints there. Sun, Sand, and Soul is the concert series going on this weekend. And on Thursday, the music begins. You've got a couple of great artists, including the Teskey Brothers, and then, help me, Rockstar, Tedeschi.
Tedeschi Trucks.
Yeah. Trucks Band is the headliner that night. And then on Friday, we're rolling in right there with our friends Maggie Rose, St. Paul and the Broken Bones, and J.J. Gray and the Mofro. And then they'll roll some more artists out there on Saturday, including Blackberry Smoke and the Tedeschi Truck Band one more time on Saturday night. That's all happening down there.
The Blackberry Smoke song that... What did
I
y'all's
can't remember.
getaway song, the Blackberry Smoke?
That's Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Blackberry Smoke had a hit, though.
Yeah.
So you'll love this, though, about the music venue. It's not like elbow to elbow. Everybody has their own cove, Brown.
Like
own
a cove.
personal cove.
Like a cove.
Kodar Productions, Todd and the guys doing a great job there.
We're looking forward to that. Lake Fest is another music festival we have coming up. We look forward to being out there with that.
We were talking about Mother's Day, and if you want to take mom for a great outing, this has become an incredible event. Logan locally. It's the Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst, May 10th through the 12th, Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free admission for the public. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend, including that free Velcro Pygmies concert on Saturday night, fireworks show on Friday night, free mimosas for Mom on Sunday for Mother's Day. For more information, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Okay, at some point before the start of next basketball season, hopefully sooner rather than later, I've got to go hit 5 shots in a Division I gym in a 24-hour period. At some point, we'll make the first attempt to try that. But Brown, who finished second, has his own punishment, and he's got to deliver a package of next round gear to one of our great listeners.
It's got to be Mississippi.
And Reed has given this to me. I have not seen it yet. I'm going to look at it, pass it to you, look at it, and we'll give it to Brown, and this will be his destination. But this is one of your packages that Reed gave face down.
Do I need to say the name? Is this a surprise? Rockstar, do you know, is this a surprise to the person to whom I'm delivering?
I would.
No, this is an actual order. Well,
No, I'm saying, do they know I'm delivering it?
I don't think not yet.
Okay, so, I mean, are we going to make sure they're home? Is this just going to be me putting it at their front door?
Yeah,
what
you're
are we
asking
gonna do?
a lot of questions.
Well, I mean, I'd like to know, Jim.
I mean, this works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Feel like he should have finished third, but yeah.
So
definitely works for me.
Reed, are we going to give them a heads up I'm delivering this so that they can be at home?
Before you see it, is there any way you disagree taking this package and delivering?
No, I kind of thought we had discussed it being like within a 3-mile radius, but I could have just dreamt that. I'm not going to complain.
3 miles?
A 3-hour radius.
You walk to the colonnade.
Just throw it.
A 3-hour
Why
radius.
don't you just come and pick it up?
A 3-hour radius.
I thought it was within a 5-hour flight.
Flight?
Well, take a look.
5-hour flight.
I thought it was a 5-hour flight. We talked about
5 hours
this.
is continental United States. I can fly from New York to LA in 5 hours.
Flip your box.
Then flip your box, Brownie.
Go ahead.
Is that all I'm going to flip? No, look, before I say this, I'm fine with it. I finished second. I'm not going to be the guy that for years.
Oh God.
Moving forward says, I mean, it was a second place finish. Felt like I finished last.
I'm not going to complain, Brown, before he actually complains.
No, I'm not going to complain at all. Dunaway's the one that complained for years about finishing second and doing stand-up. I'm not going to do it. This is good for the audience.
Oh, okay.
West Hollywood, California. This is a joke. I'm not going to West Hollywood, California.
That is an actual order, though.
Somebody ordered something from West
Yes.
Hollywood?
Well,
Scott has the mileage if you want to look at it.
Here's the mileage. This is the route we would choose for you.
28 hours.
I've driven it.
Yeah.
Have you? Oh, yeah. When you went out
I've
there,
driven
yeah.
it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's actually fun if you don't if you don't have like time.
No, I would not mind actually doing that at all. I really would not mind doing it at all. Now, I'm going to need to involve family. I'm not going to spend that much time away from my family in the summer. I've also driven, Scott had the path up there. I've driven a lot of that path because that was part of my Alien Fest when we very first started this thing. Scott, throw that back up there. The worst stretch of road I think I've ever been on, okay, is from Roswell, New Mexico to Amarillo, Texas, which is, you can see basically from the middle of New Mexico through that panhandle of Texas.
And you can smell horse and cow shit. I've been on that road.
Awful stretch of road, Lance.
Because I've gone from Amarillo to Albuquerque.
Yeah, awful stretch of road.
Hey, that is right. You could ride with Brown and you knock out your challenge.
One in each state.
I get a lot of opportunities there, especially when I get out to the L.A. area.
Jim's at the pit. We're going to try to settle this today in Las Cruces.
It would take you longer in L.A. than it would in state, though.
Because of security?
No,
that
because
and
of traffic.
Yeah, that too. All right, our show being brought to you by Precision Sports. We're now into the final hour of our show. Precision Sports will get you back into work, no matter if you've pulled something, tweaked something, or whatever you would do to end up on the shelf. They'll get you off the shelf and back to work and play. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885. 512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Orthopedic care better together. They'll diagnose you, they'll treat you, they'll help you with rehab. They are the best in the business. That's what they do. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885 or precisionsportsortho.com. When we come back, we were talking Dan Mullen Mississippi State, I feel like, missed their window to be national champions in college football at one point. They were number one in the country in November, rolling into Tuscaloosa under Dan Mullen.
Never had a shot.
But they missed their window, is the question. Tell me other programs that since, we'll start with the last 10 years, that you feel like missed their window to be champions. All right, that's coming up when we continue the conversation. This hour brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy's Chicken, open on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and the crew will prepare you lunch right now. And don't worry about that chicken being old, setting under a light back there. They cook it to order. Brined overnight and cooked to order, piping hot when it comes out. Hand-cut chicken fingers, and I always recommend, whether for a meal or just to start off an appetizer, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. They are to die for right there at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, before we get going this hour, I want to tell you, betting odds. Got 4 teams that made the playoffs last year that betting-wise are going to miss the playoffs this year.
Can we guess both sides?
And 4 teams that missed the playoffs last year that the betting odds say they're going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
And then I got a post-draft power ranking that involves our teams that I don't really agree with, to be honest with you.
All right, so the Bucks are low.
All right. Well, see, your assumptions. sometimes.
You know what assumptions do.
Yeah, and they're so condescending sometimes. You think I would only bring it up because the Bucks are low, that I would say that I don't like it because the Bucks are low.
Well, that's one out and one in. Is the Bucks out, the Falcons in?
So you're about to eat a little crow on that comment there, Mr. I need a new towel every time I bathe.
I do. I don't like bathing.
Betting odds. So you say Tampa Bay were in last year. You think they're betting they're going to miss this year?
I would almost put any amount of money on this.
Tampa Bay's on that list. There are three other teams.
So can we do? Are we just doing the
teams that were in
that were out right now?
Betting odds are going to miss it now. Tampa Bay is one. Yes.
I think another team that was in that will be out. This is dicey, but I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
That's who I was going to say next.
You're 2 for 2.
Okay.
Brown is riding your coattails.
Well, I mean, I was going to say Cleveland, Jim. Boy, this gets hard.
It does get hard. I am going to say the next team that misses the postseason is going to be...
They were in it last year.
Yeah, they were in it last year. I am going to say... boy, this is tough.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to lean Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to.
You know where I want to lean is Houston, because the AFC South turns over every single year, but Houston feels like the best team in that division.
I think it's either the Bills or your Dolphins. I'm going to go the Buffalo Bills.
Not on this list I saw. Betting odds, they have the Bills to still be in there.
Okay, then Dolphins?
Dolphins betting odds still to be in there.
God, Lance, I mean, you're just throwing away guesses now going with the Dolphins. I mean, I'll address the elephant in the room, the Rams.
The Rams are on this list.
That's fine.
He went Dolphins.
And then you already named it Steelers.
Okay.
Steelers. Okay.
Steelers are consistently the playoffs.
Odds out to be in. You've already said Atlanta. That is correct.
Yeah, Atlanta is one. I think they go with the Bears.
Yeah.
Bears are
Jets because of Aaron Rodgers.
Jets because of Aaron Rodgers.
And then Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati. Y'all nailed that one.
Yeah, those were the easy ones.
Yeah.
So the Rams. Good.
Okay.
Pull against us.
Here's the post-draft power rankings. All right. And I don't agree with this.
Where is this from, though?
This is from the Athletic Dane Brugler.
Yeah,
I believe is who
yeah,
writes
he
this.
does a good job. I've seen his stuff.
Kansas City 1, San Francisco 2, Detroit 3, Baltimore 4. Nobody have a problem with that, right?
No, Detroit. It's pretty amazing the ascension, though.
Yeah.
But they look like they're still going to be good.
Yeah. Brad Holmes done a great job.
So KC, San Francisco, Detroit, Baltimore. Put them in any order you want.
Pretty simple right there. Yep, I'm with you.
Number 5, the Houston Texans.
I mean, it's hard to argue this. Again, that's what I was saying is I kind of wanted to go with them because it feels like the AFC South has a different winner every year. But you tell me why you would go against the Houston Texans outside of that.
Maybe C.J. Stroud had a flukish year.
I mean, boy, that was a heck of a flukish year.
And then here's where it gets drunk.
And he's got weapons everywhere now.
I don't agree with any of them after that.
Well, I mean, Philadelphia's got to be somewhere. Buffalo's got to be somewhere.
Philadelphia is 11th. Buffalo is 10th.
Where's Green Bay?
Green Bay is next at 6. So not as crazy, I guess. You think Green Bay is there?
Yeah, I mean the way they played in the second half of the season.
Yeah, Cowboys 7, Cleveland 8, Cincinnati 9, Buffalo 10.
Where's Chargers?
Philadelphia 11, Rams 12th, Chicago 13. This next one makes no sense at all. Indianapolis 14th.
Wait, so they've got Chicago behind the Rams, but they got Chicago in the postseason. The Rams.
No, these are two different things.
Yeah, two different things.
Athletics is a power ranking. One was betting odds from Las Vegas. Indianapolis 14th, Tampa Bay 15th, too high. Miami 16th.
Too low.
In the power rankings.
32nd, the New England Patriots?
I didn't go that low.
Oh.
I didn't go that
Is
low.
that who you put 32nd? Is that who you think will have the first pick next year?
I do.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. They take a quarterback in the first 3 picks, but I still think they're going to have the first overall pick next year.
And I'll tell you one thing that hurts them is that is a brutal division. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers back healthy, there's no off days in that division. Miami's going to be good. Buffalo, in spite of what we've just said right here, I think still going to be really good with Josh Allen. And then you got Aaron Rodgers back you have to face twice.
Yeah, and that's how you can start projecting Cleveland missing the playoffs or Pittsburgh missing the playoffs because you got the Ravens that are so good, and you only have so many playoff spots on. You got at least 3 teams you think about in the AFC East.
So tough to win a Super Bowl. I say that, and it's like Patrick Mahomes just wins them all the time.
It doesn't feel like it's tough for Kansas City.
And they don't seem to be going anywhere else right now. All right, show being brought to you by our friends at the Regions Tradition Golf Tournament, May 8th through the 12th. Man, we're looking so much forward to this every year because we're going to be in the Coca-Cola interview room again, and we're going to get a chance to sit down and talk to some of the stars who will be there on Wednesday for the Drummond Company. Pro-Am. Those stars include Hugh Freeze, who joined us last year. He'll be there. You've got Charles Barkley. He'll be there with us. You've got the great Riley Green, Alabama coaches Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Nate Oates, and so many more, all there. Regions Tradition Drummond Company Pro-Am on Wednesday, the tournament through the weekend at the Greystone Golf and Country Club. Get your tickets right there at regionstradition.com. regionstradition.com. All right, we'll go last 10 years first. So back to the 2013 season and forward. Teams that miss their chance to be a champion, their window, maybe playoff window or whatever, but Mississippi State is one for me. When Dan Mullen was there, just good talent rolling in there, and it's hard to imagine as things continue to expand and schedules continue to get tougher that Mississippi State will have a window like they have had. I would throw TCU into that window as well. They missed their chance a couple of years ago.
Well, I think their chance was actually probably better under Gary Patterson, even though they were in the national championship game. It sounds counterintuitive.
No, the BCS was their best chance.
Yeah, I think Gary Patterson gave them their best chance. Now, in a single game, yeah, they missed their best chance, but they also missed it 62-7, so it's hard to argue they were particularly close to getting it, right? So, yeah, I think their window has closed.
I think moving forward, there's only like 10 or 12 programs that can win a national championship.
Every year?
Every again?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Well, you paint a very boring scenario.
It's just because of the expansion of the college football playoff and how difficult it's going to be to get there, and then once you're there to win 3 games.
Or 4.
Or 4 games, yeah.
Yeah. You don't think we'll have a Cinderella run?
I think we'll have a Cinderella run. I think we'll get a team like in the semifinals, like a Kansas State will jump up there.
Yeah, but keep in mind, when LSU is fighting their ass off in Austin, Texas in 2019 to come back and win that game, we didn't know they were going to continue to motorboat everybody through the season.
No, but it was LSU.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so like a program like LSU would be one of those I would put in the top 12.
Yeah, that wasn't Kansas doing that. That was an established LSU.
I think Oklahoma State missed their window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think it has been closed, but yeah.
Well, they were so close in that BCS scenario in 2011. Still, some people believe they should have gotten in. If they don't lose that Friday night in Ames, they're in. They're playing for the national championship in a one-game situation. As bad as LSU was that night, who knows?
Yeah.
I feel like Michigan State missed their window.
The D'Antonio window?
I don't ever think it was there. I know they got to a college football playoff,
but again,
just didn't even seem like they had a pulse in that game.
I would have said to be
I would have said Oregon.
I was going to say that to be a little more positive. I would have said Oregon post Chip Kelly. When they were struggling around with Helfrich, and even and Showboat Willie was there for a little bit, and then Cristobal. I would have said they lost their window, and I don't know that Dan Lanning can do it, but I feel better about him doing it in the Big Ten than in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I do too. I think Oregon's going to be a player. I want to see Dan Lanning, and obviously he's got time to learn on the job, but he's going to have to do a better job in big games.
Did Washington miss their window, or you think they'll be back?
Again,
I think they missed the window.
Yeah, going to the Big Ten. I mean,
you think that helps or hurts them?
I think it helps them. You're better off trying to do it in the Big Ten and the SEC with an expanded playoff, simply because there are going to be more spots available, and you're going to get the respect of the seeders, right? Those that are on the committee, you're going to get more respect being a Big Ten team than a Pac-12 team. Could be the same exact record, same exact schedule, just having Big Ten next to your name or SEC next to your name is a much better scenario.
Yeah, I feel confident in saying the three of us will not be on this earth when Washington plays for a national championship again.
Holy crap. Wow. Well, in my lifetime, they've done it twice, right? Don James did it.
Right.
In 91. Was that the year? 90, 91, whenever it was?
It was 91.
Yeah, and then
they shared with Miami.
And then Kalen DeBoer did it, so...
I mean, I can't see Jed Fish doing this.
I'm just going to point out, Lance...
It's longer now.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
They're on a once in every 24-year pace right now for me. So we'll see.
It's going to be dicey.
Yeah. In the SEC, anybody else other than Mississippi State, you feel like some haven't had that window open yet? I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't ever see Ole Miss winning a national championship.
Yeah, but I don't know if the window was open, to your point there on that one.
But everyone thinks Tennessee will be back and they'll have a chance.
Well,
Florida will be back and they'll have a chance again.
Yeah, I think historical programs that are down right now, like Tennessee and Florida, they're not going to stay down forever. They'll find it. They'll get the coach, and I think they'll be back in the mix for it. I would never say Tennessee or Florida has closed their window.
Tennessee is in a much better situation right now than Florida, I believe, with Heupel over Napier. But I still would say Florida will play for a national championship before Tennessee will.
I would have more faith in that, yeah. I'm with you.
Texas A&M?
I mean, to the extent it was ever open, I don't know how close they've really ever been.
They will win a national championship. They've got to get the right guy there. I don't know if Elko's the guy. I like Elko.
By the way, Elko last night, I don't know if we have this picture or not, but he's doing sort of like the Crimson Caravan or the Tiger Tracks. He's doing his coach's night in Brazos County. And this mascot shows up wearing the old overalls that you get for Aggie Land.
Yeah.
With the sawed off. They sawed them off, those longhorns, pointing down, man.
Boy, that guy is in character.
Yeah. The old sawed off horns, man.
Can you feel, if you're a skier, can you feel the pain with somebody sawing the horns off?
I don't think so.
So I've got this random...
It's like clipping a fingernails. It would be my imagination.
Oh, but you can feel that.
See, I've got a random algorithm that pops up on my TikTok, and Rockstar has seen it too. Is the guy that do the cow's hooves? Rockstar, have you ever seen those videos?
That cleans the
cleans the hooves. It's strangely fascinating to
horses,
watch.
They clean the horseshoes and and the horses are completely calm for
I know.
They lift their leg up. And
like they take like a industrial drill with a sander on it, and they sand the bottom of it, and you never hear the cow moo or anything. So I don't know that they feel that. So I don't know if they feel the horns.
My dogs hate getting their nails.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I watch those
close,
videos.
right?
Oh yeah, you get them done in the quick. It's bad news.
Ooh,
get infected. Yeah. I don't know why I like those videos, but like
it's oddly satisfying. That's what it's called.
It is oddly satisfying. And they find these cows that got the infected hoof, and they do that scrape thing, Rockstar, and then this pus.
You got a guy with a whole thing of tools, like a whole toolkit.
What the hell do you guys watch?
TikTok.
No,
it's on TikTok. And it gets my algorithm so that I'll pop it up. And this British talking guy will be like, "You will not believe what this cow had in a foot." And I'm like, well, now I got to watch
My
it.
death and destruction have turned into like mansions that I can never afford. I don't know how that happened.
Well, that's a better turn for you.
I think it was, you know what? I think it was Ram's house. You remember they had the Hermosa Beach?
It's on the market.
Yeah, for like $16.5 million.
Yeah.
But I think I looked at that so much, now I get all these houses popping up.
I think the TikTok
Ultimate tease job.
The TikTok algorithm's a little too aggressive. Like, because what will happen is I'll watch a video and I'll accidentally click on their, like I'm trying to click on something, I'll click on their profile, and then I'll get like their videos now. So then I just have to quickly scroll through them, so I'll quit getting them. It's a little too active, the algorithm. I wish you could adjust the algorithm. Of course, a few months I can't watch TikTok
They're
anyway.
definitely listening, though, because I got asked the other day if I have a Polaris for the pool.
Do you?
I did, but the Polaris is down right now, and now this new robot came up that looks awesome. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll get this. And then I looked at the price point. What do you think a robot for the pool is?
$12,000.
No,
I'm gonna say less than that. I'm gonna say
I don't know.
$1,700.
What's all it do for you?
$3,000.
Wow.
I mean, it's like a tank. It goes all over the bottom. It climbs the walls.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Look at all the people in the chat room that watch that hoof guy, though. It's crazy. I don't know what is appealing about it, other than Rockstar is like it's just oddly satisfying to see it get clean. Yep. And you feel better for the cow afterwards. You're like, well, that cow was living in pain.
He kind of prances off and walks
he's like,
off.
hey, I'm back in the field.
So this dude, that's all he does, and he's got a ton of followers?
Oh, yeah, there's several of them. It's not just this one guy, but Nate the Hoof guy, I'll tell you how many followers he's got on TikTok.
So he's monetizing this.
He is monetizing, but he does it for a living. Like, I don't think it's just what, so everybody does it. I think you got to pay somebody to come in and
you
do
got to be
it.
a specialist. I wouldn't feel comfortable going to clean a hoof right now.
Nate the Hoof guy.
My algorithms are
1.7 million.
Live music, then it's Brie Chicken Fry.
Of course.
Then it's Next Round.
Yeah.
Then it's Taylor's Uncorked. And then it's a lot of people in bikinis. Those are the only 5 things that show up on my algorithms.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Brie Chicken Fry is number 2 in your algorithms.
Yeah, it's live music.
So
Comedians fly in there a lot. So that Nate Bargatze guy and Cat Williams and Chappelle, they jump in there. But it's live music, those comedians, Next Round.
I get a lot of Next Round, too.
Taylor's Uncorked. And then a lot of bikinis.
Yeah, mine would be Wishla's Death and Destruction and Now Houses.
Are you going to see Bargatze next weekend?
I'm not.
You're not going to the show?
I'm not. I think I've seen every joke he's got.
You don't know that till you go to a show. Maybe it's all new material.
I think his new material is not going to be good. I'm calling he has jumped the shark.
He's been one of the most
This is
successful.
Frog Bowers.
He is selling out Legacy Arena 2 straight shows, and you think, it's not going to be funny. That is the most Dunaway stance
Hey,
ever.
you guys tell me though, when do you have like a top-end comedian that just hits a wall and they just become not funny? Have we had that example?
Go see the show in a couple weeks.
I mean, this guy, he's doing, Lance, he's filling up arenas. He did the largest crowd in Bridgestone Arena history, and this guy just said, yep, it's not going to be funny.
Amy Schumer kind of fell off. She was like on top of the world in 2016.
Yeah, but I think she got married, had kids, I think.
But you just kind of fall off. I remember Cat Williams kind of disappeared, now he's reappeared. Like he was massive
but
like 10 years ago.
He's made a strong
and
comeback.
He disappeared, now he's reappeared.
Yeah. Trash coming up in just a second. Well, before we go to break, one more thing, Rockstar. Get cut 2 ready for me. We were just talking about coaches and windows. Luke Fickle in just a second. Our friends at Hemp Hill reminding you it's about to be 90 and you want to have air conditioning.
Yes, you do. 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, they're going to take care of you. Trust the name. Birmingham is trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. It's our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Doesn't matter if it's home or business. They are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. HempHillServices.com.
Just a still shot first for us, sir, if you can. This is Luke Fickle on Great Value Colin Cowherd's podcast.
The guy looks like somebody. I can't figure it out, though.
Looks like Martin Freeman from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. He does. He does.
Great value, Colin Cowherd.
Come with us. We're going to leave the Shire.
Oh, my God. I thought we were listening to the movie. God, that's crazy.
I hope we don't get dinged for that.
We probably will.
It's actually, ironically, Rockstar, it's actually the Kings of the North podcast.
Oh, of course.
The Kings of the North podcast. Luke Fickle, head coach now at Wisconsin, gets asked about playing Alabama.
Bama hasn't come north since they played at Penn State in 2011. Do you believe that you forced Nick Saban into retirement, that he was like, I don't want to play Luke Fickle in Madison?
I'm sure that had a lot to do with, he just hasn't quite said that. He was in Congress the other day. He didn't bring it up, but I'm sure that was in the back of his head of some sorts. It's just crazy. I mean, I think that where we're going, hopefully in college football with 12-team playoff and some of these things, you're going to see more of this, right? You're going to see people that are more apt to say, hey, let's play these games. Let's test ourselves. Let's see where we are. If we don't have to schedule these things so far out, 5, 6, 7 years in advance, I think you're going to see a little bit more of some of these early on games where, the people in the Big Ten, the guys in the Big Ten are going to, match up with some of these SEC teams and not feel like, hey, well, in order to be one of the 4, to lose a game, or to have those struggles early in the year, it's impossible to recover. And I think that's one of the really good things that, where we're headed in college football is I think it allows us to be a little bit more open, test ourselves a little bit more, and find out what we're dealing with, even before the regular season or the league season starts.
Nice schedule, by the way.
How many family members does he have?
He did have a lot of pictures up there.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Luke does have a lot up there. Did Wisconsin miss their window?
Again, I just told you they got one of the longest streaks in America of seasons or winning seasons. One of the longest streaks in America, going back to 2001. What's the closest they've been to a national championship in that window, though?
Getting beaten. Was it a
They've been
playoff
to some
game?
Rose Bowls, yeah.
They didn't make playoffs.
They never made playoffs.
No, Michigan State did. They did not.
They won a Rose Bowl.
They won a Rose Bowl. I would say the year Russell Wilson quarterbacked them, is that the best year they've had in that run?
Probably.
And that was a Rose Bowl win. Yeah, so, I don't know that they've ever been particularly close, so maybe the window did close.
All right, when we come back, Trash Today, hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Sterling and the crew down there getting you ready for football. The taste of football is what you get right there at Champy's. You walk in there, you say, give me those 2 big deep-fried breasts, brined overnight, all the sides that go with it. Start me off with a Mississippi Delta recipe tamale, and we'll just have a good lunch or dinner right here. It's with Sterling and the crew, Highway 119 in Alabaster. It's Champy's.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th. LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Back with you on the Next Round. Nevada's best receiver from Nevada, Delvon Campbell, committed to South Carolina yesterday. 6'4", 218 wide receiver. So he'll be playing for the Fighting Beamers there in Columbia, South Carolina. And just happening within the hour from our buddy Hayes Fawcett over at On3 Sports, former Toledo and Louisville running back Penny Boone, who I think has a little bit of game, committed to UCF.
He's not a mid.
He's not mid to me, man. I know his name. He was the 2023 MAC Player of the Year, 1,400 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns, 2 years of eligibility left. Went to Louisville, never played, right? He was just there for the spring.
Yes, he's the one that we discussed when we were like, I guess these guys never do a 12-month lease. My kid has to. I guess they don't.
And then Penny Boone now at UCF, where he'll play for Malzahn. He's on the Gus bus down there in Orlando. The show being brought to you by JohnsonRVCenter.com.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. They have repriced both of those lots, and they are so confident that they got the best price you'll find anywhere. They will beat any price in America on a comparable RV there at Johnston RV Center. They also love the military, the way we do on this show. The United States veteran and the active duty military, you are what has made America the greatest country in the universe. No questions asked about it. They love you. And in a small way of saying thank you, they want to give you a great discount. Find out more. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Okay, before trash, one mind-blowing thought, just to remind people. You know this, but maybe you've forgotten it.
Japan.
UCLA's head football coach is Deshaun Foster.
That is correct. Yes,
I forget that all the time.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
Yeah, he's the head coach. That's your mind-blowing college football moment. 6 cities currently have both an NBA team and a NHL team still alive in the playoffs. Your question is, who is, other than Boston, who is going to be in this the longest with both teams? Because I think the Celtics and the Bruins are the answer here, both in Boston. You have the Avalanche and the Nuggets. You have the Knicks and the Rangers. You have the Heat and the Panthers. You have the Mavericks and the Stars. And you have the Clippers and the Kings. Other than Celtics and Bruins, which I think is the obvious
Avalanche,
number one answer.
Nuggets.
Yeah, I was going to say Avs and Nuggets.
I mean, Avs got past that first round. And, Clay Travis on the show yesterday was talking about when it comes to the postseason, Major League Baseball is the most unpredictable. NHL's right there. We've seen 8 seeds make a run, play in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I would go Avs now that they got past the Jets. And the Nuggets are going to be there in the end.
Yeah, Avs and Nuggets would have been my choice. And then it came down to either Knicks, Rangers, or Mavericks Stars for me. Stars have fought back and evened up that series.
Hey, I was watching the Avs and the Jets Sunday.
Yeah.
One of the worst pucks to the face you've ever seen. Dude jumped thinking the puck was going to come under him, and it got deflected. And it so by virtue of the fact he's in the air, comes right up under his mask and just destroys his face. Poor guy had to be carted off. One of the worst you've ever seen.
Preds stayed alive, beating Vancouver last night. Toronto stayed alive. Overtime goal. They go back to Toronto for a Game 6 there. A couple more games tonight, the NHL and the NBA playoffs, as they're in their postseason. We're to trash right now, brought to you by Mortgage Right.
I was in the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
It's spring buying season, and our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. They were veteran-founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country, and while the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans has not changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more info by going to their website, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call their Birmingham office on Highway 280, 205-900-7200. Talk to someone right now. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
By the way, Bama fan 1972 pulling for the Florida Panthers. They eliminated my team, the Lightning. I think I'm about to be on the backside. I've just gone through, I think, 4 years of all my teams being in the playoffs every year.
Including Alabama?
I think it's about to be...
even Alabama?
The other side of Tampa.
I think there's something about being a fan that you need to have those bad years.
Oh, but that's all I've had with Tampa. I never thought I'd go through the years I've had here recently. We're about to go into the dark part of being a Tampa fan soon.
So would you guys, I've heard the older you get, really the important thing to spend money on is travel. And I would love to do more of traveling. Would you guys have any desire to visit every country in the world?
Nope. No, not every country.
I don't think I would either. But we have someone that has.
I'm going to check Iran off my list.
Yeah, there's a lot of them I think I could immediately check
May
out.
of 2023, Lucy Sue stepped foot into Syria and entered an exclusive club. The Middle Eastern country was the 193rd that Sue had traveled to.
Wow.
Sue went on to say, quote, there are not many people who have visited every country in the world. 193 is the total that is recognized by most travel clubs because that represents the number of UN members who do vote in the UN, according to the 43-year-old Sue. Although there is no official tally, it is widely estimated that roughly 400 people in the world have gone to every country. By comparison, more than 600 have gone to outer space.
There's been 600 people in outer space?
Yeah, well, you always got the space station going.
Yeah. 600 seems high, though.
That's a fleet of people, bro.
But you probably have 20 people in space right now.
I guess so.
Damon's still up there.
You know, I had rather, I think I had rather select, say, 25 countries and go to all the best parts of those countries than do all 193, personally.
Let me ask you this. If you guys could take, who is your number one sports team? Would you go Alabama?
I mean, Alabama's what I grew up with, but it would be the Buccaneers.
Dolphins for you.
Yeah, what's my question?
If you could go to 50 countries, I give you a week, everything paid for, or your team gets to win a championship.
50 countries, all expenses paid? My whole family?
Yep.
You know, I'm not going to be selfish here. I'm going to take my family to 50 countries.
Yeah, I would go to 50 countries as
That's
well.
I think I would too. Now, if I was you, I don't know if I would, just based on the fact that you haven't had one.
Do
Yeah,
I
you get handpicked
Oh,
the 50.
yeah, I'd do the 50. I love the Dolphins. I would roll the dice. They'd figure it out without me.
I mean, Alabama, Tampa Bay Bucks, Tampa Bay Lightning,
Yeah.
we've all won since 2019. So
50 countries, though. Can you imagine that? All expenses
pretty
paid.
incredible. This is
and
how
the
it
Rays
started.
won an American League pennant, so that's just as good.
As Sue's career started to take off, her teaching career, that's when she started to travel. During every break from teaching, she was traveling. It was during summer breaks that Sue added the most countries to her tally. Quote, every year I would plan a big trip. So my next trip went to Australia and New Zealand. Then the next summer it was a different part of Europe. Then it was Central America. By the time I had taught for 6 or 7 years, I think it was already 50 countries. Never too late to travel.
No. I
She
would
went
agree.
all out on the sign. I love that. Like, the sign is awesome.
Yes, was that
By the way,
printed
people
on
that
the
can't
printer?
read-
Like forced to Syria too, right?
Yeah, how bad do you feel if you're Syria? She's like, all right, I've got to do it now.
Okay, where's my last war-torn country?
Yeah, but look at the amphitheater or the old school. I mean, I would have guessed Rome or Greece there, but
Yeah, I
that's
would've
in
too.
Syria. And look at all the artwork there back on the wall. I mean, not the artwork, but the beams that
Have
they're
you ever,
carved in
you ever
columns.
seen
They
Butch?
need to clean up some of those boulders, though. They're out of place.
You ever seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Yes.
When they get to Bolivia, and he's like, it's not what I thought it would look like. And he goes, this could be the garden spot of Bolivia, Butch. They could come from all over just to see this place. That could be it for Syria.
Yeah, the rocks, LT. That's basically chairs. So where somebody was sitting while somebody was standing on one of those rocks, giving a speech. Probably
Game of Thrones final season where they had their big summit meeting, right?
Yeah.
Or was it next to last season?
She could be in Vegas for all we know.
Okay, I think everybody hates passwords, right? And I'm guilty of not remembering my password.
Like on the
all of
computer or the
time.
game show, or both.
I hate having to reset them all the time, Lance.
Me too.
I wish you could click a thing that says, I am willing to roll the dice that I could get compromised. And
No, the best. It happened to me today to do your login, do your password. And I was like, I think this is my password. Do my password, and it said this is not the correct password. Can I reset my password? You reset the password. They send you the passcode on your email. All right, now you can start a new password. You do the password that you've been using. You can't use your last password. Like, you son of a bitch.
Well, it's getting worse because if you just want to simplify your password, they're not allowing it anymore.
That's right.
Check. They comes with weak passwords such as admin or 12345 will be banned in the UK under new laws dictating that all smart devices must meet minimum security standards.
Well, here's the deal. I want to be able to call somebody. Like my Facebook is still hacked.
Yep.
One of them that I deleted years ago is stealing people's crypto money, stealing people's investments, pissing me off. Taylor got me a number to call Meta. I call them up and they say, we don't help on the phone. You got to go to this. So I follow every steps I can in the help center, but I don't have the information of that site anymore because I deleted it.
That's right.
I deleted it and
You know
I stole
what?
it, and nobody can help me.
Bet you could do a class action lawsuit with the people that have lost money.
That's right.
They're smearing your name. I guarantee you could. I can put you in touch with somebody.
File for slander.
Think I can get 6 figures?
Yes.
I mean, that's a drop in the bucket. They don't want the bad pub.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who are we blaming? Facebook?
Yeah, Meta.
Yeah, let's go.
It's on Meta.
Let's sue. We'll sue Biden. Apparently, you can take
Taylor Swift.
Apparently,
Taylor
you can
Swift.
take the president to the court.
No, you can't.
We'll go Biden.
I would go China.
We'll go Biden, China.
Yep.
Zuckerberg.
Taylor Swift.
I'm not gonna bring Taylor.
Elon,
it's,
maybe.
it's what gets the pub,
I'm
Jim.
not gonna bring Taylor into
That's
this.
how you get the pub.
Meghan Markle.
I'll do the royal family, and
she's
we'll
not
work our way down.
Rick Carley.
Rick Carley. That's what we need to do.
We thought Rick worked for Facebook.
That's what we need to do.
Anyway, manufacturers of phones, TVs, smart doorbells, among other things, are now legally required to protect internet-connected devices against access by cyber criminals, which users prompted to a change by any common passwords.
Do you know how big a relief it is, though, Rockstar? Like when you're logging onto something on your phone and it suggests your username, so you put that in there, and then the password pops up without you having to remember it, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Like, when the hell did I use this app? 2016?
I was not going to remember that.
Such a relief.
Oh, if you find my phone, you got everything.
Yeah.
Because I save my passwords now.
Yeah. Here's what's crazy.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
What's crazy in my house, up in my room, I've got 3 TVs, right? So I can watch sports.
Right.
And like every Hulu, everything's
It
logged.
logs out.
No, it's all logged in. Up
Oh,
there.
mine logs out like occasionally.
It's all logged in.
Yeah.
I'll walk down to the one Maggie watches down that's hanging on the wall in the living room. And we were going to go watch something on Hulu the other night, and boom, got to log in. And I was like,
good luck.
And then it was like, we went over to watch something on Apple. Got to log in. I said, what the heck are you doing
kicks
down
off
here?
nonstop. The
not check the box?
YouTube TV, it recycles like once a week, and I don't know how to reset that damn thing.
I've never. I don't even know what my password is.
But just randomly, my house alarm, I set it and disarm it on my phone every time I come and go, right? And the other day it logged me out. I'm like, I literally use this every day. Why did you log me out?
I'm telling you, AI is going to take over the world.
Yeah.
I saw Alien on the big screen for the first time ever because I didn't see Alien until I was, in the 80s. It came out in 79, so I had an opportunity because they brought it back for 45th anniversary. Went and saw it a couple of nights ago. And AI, Mother was the name of the ship. And this was like, I'm telling you, cautionary tale how she basically sabotaged the entire crew. This is going to happen to our world. I'm telling you, AI is going to take over.
And xenomorphs.
Smuff says Max logs out constantly. Dude, I'm telling you, it never has logged out for me. Every day I watched an old episode just to feel good last night of Entourage.
Well, I think they suck at DirecTV, but I never had to worry about DirecTV logging out.
Yeah.
No, you're right about
my
that.
YouTube TV, since I joined that years ago now, not once have to relog.
Are you kidding? Mine's every week with YouTube TV.
Not once. Ring doorbells, though, freak me out. I don't encounter them a lot. I did over at LT's one time. I walked in and I was like, hey guys, I'm here. Y'all can let me in. I think I said this. I had to pick something up at Taylor's during Talladega weekend, our microphone. And as I was approaching her door, I noticed it was a Ring doorbell. So I'm walking up and I'm like, tip the cap to her.
She's got roommates,
I know, but I was like, just in case somebody's watching, I didn't want them to. I figured she was asleep and the roommates.
No, he's cool. He tipped his cap.
I figured the roommates were watching, so I wanted to tip my cap so they knew I was.
It's cool. He tipped his cap. Oh, he's not a threat. He tipped his cap.
So I did the old
red flag down.
How many people you think have been busted, like somebody coming to the house that wasn't supposed to be there by the Ring doorbell?
I bet a lot. That's the way that old boy that killed his family up in Colorado got popped. Do you remember that? The guy, he killed his wife and then his two kids, and he put them in like an oil vat out in the oil field. And his Ring doorbell video is what busted him, I think. He forgot to delete it or disable it or something.
Yeah, hard to be a criminal now.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you guys ever wondered how much it costs to raise a kid? We've all got kids here.
I had a zero.
I had a friend, though, this is so funny. He was telling me this a few years ago. I'm not going to bring his name up. You guys know him. And he was like, I never would have had kids, the things I could have had.
Yeah. Wow. Truthfully, it's cost me more to raise my wife for that Duke tuition. But yes, I'm going to say $131,000.
Okay, the cost of raising children has soared over the course of the past decade, leaving many parents struggling to make ends meet. Maybe this goes back to the conversation we had with Clay yesterday. You missed this.
Yeah.
But like people are having less and less kids.
Oh, I see.
For a variety of reasons. But research from investment experts Money Farm suggests it now costs more than $275,000 to raise a kid to the age of 18.
Nicholas,
that's just getting them to college.
That's just getting them to college.
Yeah, then you got to pay for the college.
Yeah, another study by SmartTrike suggests that the figure is even higher. They found the cost of early years child rearing has gone up 75% over 10 years, due mainly to an increase in child care cost. These figures take into account cost of $29,000 a year to parent younger kids, thanks to almost $19,000 a year average cost of child care for a kid under the age of 2. Rockstar is the only one that's got to deal with this. I can't even imagine having to pay for child. What's the use of even having a secondary job?
It's we both have jobs and we have childcare, and it is so expensive, but you got to have it. And it's kind of frustrating that they take like a week off for some stuff like Christmas, but we still pay for that week.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I didn't bring my kid.
If he's sick and I got to take him home, I'm still paying for that day.
But you know what they know? There's a waiting list everywhere. You
and
say
if they
no
call
to that
me
one.
saying he has a fever at 8:30 a.m., I got to take him home. I still have to pay for that day, and that's kind of frustrating.
So the cost, it says, of hobbies and activities for kids rose 33% to an average of $5,200 last year. I mean, things are expensive. Like horseback riding is supposed to be really expensive, right?
Yeah, my daughter took lessons one time. It ain't cheap.
I found it funny. My older brother was about to go through a divorce, and his ex got my niece riding. She started riding horses.
Of course she did.
And I was like, I guarantee you this is a ploy, because when the assets, when it comes down, my child support, she's a horse rider now, equestrian.
And a yachter she needs to sell.
I told him we'd buy a pony in year 3.
Okay, so from an Australian study, it suggests standing for at least 5 hours a day is vital for optimal health. We're going to have to go back to standing on the desk here, I think.
5 hours,
Researchers
though.
believe
That's why it was designed this way.
they have discovered how long we should spend sitting, sleeping, standing, and exercising every day to have and keep a healthy heart. Experts have warned for years that being stationary for too much of the day raises the risk of numerous health problems, including weight gain, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and even an early grave.
So I'm supposed to sleep 8 hours and 20 minutes? There is zero chance. That's what old boy right there, he's asleep, right? And it says 8 hours and 20 minutes.
Well, you used to get 8 hours all the time. What do you sleep now?
8 hours.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Well, that son of a bitch is getting 20 extra minutes.
I have to wake up.
Lazy bastard.
Yeah, maybe 7 on a bad night.
Yeah. See, I never feel good at 8.
Do you not?
I'm 6 to 7 is my wheelhouse.
Okay,
8 is bad.
It says we should only sit for 6 hours a day.
Well, I knocked 3 of them out right here.
That's absolutely right.
And then the couch. I mean, I'm killing it. I got to start standing up here. 3 hours less than the UK average. Just over 2 hours per day would be spent on vigorous exercise like working out in the gym, taking a brisk walk. 2 hours is a lot of working out.
It is. That is too much. There's 2 hours and 10 minutes, 5 hours, that's 7 hours and 20 minutes. There's 9 hours and 30 minutes. There's 6 hours, that gets us 15 hours and 30 minutes and 8. That's
Who
24
wants to
hours.
work?
That's what we're supposed to do right there.
Then
That's
no
24
work.
hours.
But they're sitting at your work, you're standing and you're sitting. So I think that's
Okay.
part of the. But I don't understand. You can do 4
Is
hours and
golf-
20 minutes of exercise every day.
Yeah, is golf like physical activity? I think so, yes. I'm in there.
It's some kind of activity.
Yeah.
Okay,
When
finally.
you run that cart all the way up to that ball, man. Hey, can you back it up just a little bit?
Just so I can hit.
Just a little bit.
We've got films where the actors had to play friends or lovers while hating each other's guts.
Oh, wow.
These are true
Wow.
stories.
It's going to be tough.
I
yeah.
remember hearing this one. Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey in Batman Forever.
They hated each other?
Jim Carrey didn't hate him. He said, quote, he must have been in a mid-kill me fantasy or something like that. He went to hug me and he said, I hate you. I really don't like you. And I said, what's the problem? I pulled up a chair, which probably wasn't smart. And he said, cannot sanction your buffoonery.
He was pissed because I think it was the year that he worked so hard on Cobb, and it got destroyed by, I think it was either Ace Ventura or Dumb and Dumber, and he felt like, I cannot believe this guy is beating me
That's
at the
gotta be
box
tough
office.
to swallow.
That I worked so hard to be a distinguished actor, and this guy's just literally talking out of his ass.
And you know, Carey leaned into it in this role. He'd get up to his face and it's like, riddle me this.
I never saw that Batman, but
pretty bad.
Is it bad?
It's not as bad as Batman and Robin, but it's pretty bad.
Jim Carrey, he's got some good roles, but he overall was very annoying, I thought, but very talented. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey in Dirty Dancing. I never heard this.
Oh, I did not know that. Boy, they sold this well.
Now, Patrick Swayze.
No wonder he kept missing her in the lake.
Wrote in his memoir, quote, we did have a few moments of friction. She seemed particularly emotional, sometimes bursting into tears if someone criticized her. Boy, how tough would it be to be a director and you have an actor that cries when you try to give them good criticism?
You guys deal with me every day. How tough is it?
You only cry like once every, I don't know, a couple of weeks.
Once a month.
What if you kept dropping her in the water and just held her under? Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
This is how I learned to dance.
But the last time you cried was when E.G. said you were nice or something.
Well, that was a compliment. Yeah, it was a rare.
That is a compliment.
It was a rare compliment up here.
I didn't know this one either. Good movie. Mickey Rourke and Marissa Tomei in The Wrestler. They would have people stand in for each other whenever possible during dialogue scenes so that they didn't have to be around each other for a moment longer than necessary.
Oh, wow. Miserable. Cast somebody else.
And then finally, this one's interesting. Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon in Four Christmases. I love this. Vince Vaughn loves improv while Reese wanted to stick to the script so she could prepare her reactions. Boy, I bet she was bitchy on that set.
I bet she would hate to be on Curb, too, because that is 90% improv. That's why Vince Vaughn's so good at it.
Oh, so good at it.
By the way, the backseat of that cap's not big enough for both of them.
Yeah, Vince is a big old boy in that shot, isn't he?
Yeah. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, look, they are your mortgage experts. If you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process so easy. Speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call that Birmingham office, 205-900-7200. Tell them the next round sent you.
Mike Trout, knee surgery, not season ending, but are we ever going to get to see the best of this guy?
You talked about championship windows closing.
Yeah, I think
in college football.
we've seen the best of him. he's never going to win a championship.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never see him in the playoffs. He's considered by some, I mean, one of the best players of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I do think, Brown, if he would have gone to the East Coast and played for the Red Sox or the Yankees, or even played for the Dodgers on the West Coast, and if he won a championship, I think he would be in the conversation of the greatest.
He's had one of the greatest careers you've never seen.
Right.
We,
I mean, it's true, though.
We talk crap about Deion Sanders all the time. He is brought up in baseball today. Ellie De La Cruz of the Reds, 18 stolen bases. First time someone's had 18 stolen bases before May 1st since Deion Sanders in 1997.
I remember the first time we saw him on the scene last year when he was on first, base hitting the gap, and watching him leg it to the plate.
Motor.
Man, he can. I mean, he's an electric player, and sooner than later, he's going to be a top 5 guy.
Do I just remember the Braves batting Otis Nixon and Deion Sanders 1-2, and then all that speed on the base path at the same time? Do I just remember it that way, or did they do that for a minute?
I think they did it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they batted at the top of the order, and, buddy, when those two got on together, I mean, Otis Nixon could, even late in, I mean, Otis always looked old, but even late in his career, he could still move.
That is trash and the conversation in this segment. One more to go here on TNR. Thank you to Dusty Dvoracek, who joined us earlier. You can get that wherever you get our podcasts, including Apple and Spotify.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Regions Tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Regions Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
All right, final segment here, being brought to you by Odie's LT. It's Wednesday, Rockstar.
Yes, it is Wednesday, which means
trivia.
Odie's team trivia. Rockstar sounds good today, so maybe he'll be playing music tonight. That
better,
happens a
not
lot.
great.
on Wednesday. But, hey, stop in. So this is at the original location at Crestline. We had an incredible crowd just last week. Come out, join us, get there a little early, enjoy some great food from Rodney Davis, including those award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich. Not only that location, but the newest location in Edgewood. Get in, see Will Haver, enjoy those ice-cold beer buckets, the world-famous cup cocktails. It's all going on at Odie's Tavern.
Paul Skeens is going to end up being the best pitcher in baseball, according to Landmine Believer. Would still take Strider over him long-term, but Skeens is a good man, he says there.
Strider... I mean, you hope he's back to normal, but this is 2 for him now. And you just never know. I mean, I would fear that's a ticking time bomb, wouldn't you guys, once you've had 2? And, I mean, even if you come back and you seem 100%, there's always going to be that fear in the back of your mind. I mean, it's Steven Strasburg, right?
Yep.
Strasburg stayed hurt. He just recently retired. Every time he would come back healthy, everybody would be like, the clock is ticking on him.
Yeah, and that really, really sucks because you think about like a Strasburg. I mean, he had an incredible career, won a championship, but how good would he have been with 0 injuries?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he'd been one of the best in baseball, but it's just always going to be in the back of your mind now with Strider.
Speaking of being good, program that probably has always gotten a ton of respect, but I don't think this kind of respect. This team has 10 offensive starters. I'll give you the team in a second. 10 offensive starters now after this draft that are on NFL rosters right now. Either there are 10 offensive starters from their 2021 team are either on NFL rosters from last year or were just drafted by an NFL team. 10 of 11 starters, and the 11th one is the quarterback who's returning to this team this year. So the 2021 offense of this particular team, all 10 of them are on NFL teams as we sit here today, and the other one is the quarterback who's back for one more year at North Dakota State.
Are you serious?
How about that?
Wow. That is stunning. All their offensive line guys
have ended up on a roster or just got drafted.
Hey, who does Colorado open up with?
North Dakota State. But all their guys are in the NFL, apparently.
Cam Miller is back at quarterback. 2021 North Dakota State team, 10 of the 11 offensive starters currently sit on an NFL roster.
That's incredible.
Cam Miller's a 4-year starter.
You know how long I would have guessed before I got to North Dakota State?
We'd have been there all night.
It's insane, isn't it? LSU, some guesses there. But
the
North
linemen
Dakota
are
State,
what shocks me the most. Like, we've seen them have a good receiver. He's playing at Green Bay. We've seen them have a good he was a good college quarterback. He's busted in the NFL.
All right, that's our show today. The Meltdown live today at 2 Central. It rolls on every day. And then Uncorked and the Pennant Grace and all the stuff at War Down Pods and Roll Tide Pods are there for you, for your taking whenever you want them, and podcast it wherever you get us. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.